was it called the Prince of Pizza, whatever that was, the deal. Went out there last night, got a chance to visit and see a lot of folks. Kevin Sheely, who will be on the program today, the new CEO of the Chamber's partnership with the EDC. He will be here today. He was there last night along with some other folks, and understand, Tom, that Rondo won again.
Not surprising to me. JJ said it surprises JJ every year when Rondo wins because JJ doesn't like grilled wings. He likes deep fried wings. But Rondo, I think this makes 3 or 4 years in a row now.
3. And our friends down at the Wing House, they represented now. They did good. They were good. I had some of them. They were very good.
Rob and those guys do a good job at the Wing House.
Absolutely. So I just want to get that out there and then say congratulations to everybody over there.
You know, we're going to have some of Rondo's crew on today talking about a very special event coming up. So
okay, good to know. Well, Rondo does a lot of things in the community. That's always good. So we got Allison Campbell did a good job last night, raised some money for ARC. Also, went by Kiwanis today with Tom Ingram was there, hosted by Jay Musley. We both went there and attended Kiwanis. Wanted to see our friend Tito Comas speaking, by the way. Tito speaking today along with Mrs. Soto, Carmen, who is one of the owners of the Marion Theater. Good to see the folks out of the Kiwanis Club again. Good to see Jim Kirk up again and about. Still working through some stuff, but Jim Kirk's a legend in this town. We need to have a street named after Jim Kirk. In fact, I need to go talk to Jay Musley about that and the mayor and say, why don't we have a street downtown where he did so many great things as mayor, and also the studios are down there for his radio station. We need to have a street named after Jim Kirk, maybe over by the Marion Theater. He bought the Marion Theater, by the way, and gave it to the city. So, also, guess who else was there? Good news, Kathy Bryant, Commissioner Kathy Bryant. She was there, and guess what, Tom? She's speaking to me still.
Well, there you go. As long as she's still talking to you.
Hunter, she's speaking. That's a good sign, because I thought since we were a little bit tough on them.
I got Hunter turned down. He doesn't show up enough. He doesn't get volume.
You turn my man up before I get over there and get after you.
Okay.
All right. Here's the big news, JJ and guys. We went yard today. Yard is in Yard Barker. Our interview with Urban Meyer went national on the website Yard Barker, although JJ can't find it right just yet. But it was picked up from either our Facebook page or one of our Twitters. Sean put it on there, and it went to a website called Only Gators Get Out Alive, and they went from there. You know, and this just goes to show you what the internet is cannibalizing. Everything you put out there, somebody else takes it, and they take it, and they take it, and they take it. But obviously they liked it. They ran the whole thing. So we were really pleased about that, except for one thing. Folks, if you're going to borrow stuff from us, get our names right and get our frequency right. Yardburger says WOCA 1730. Please. It said clearly 1370. So we're glad to get the national pub. We hope people will spell our names right. That's the old saying about back in the days when they had these high-powered PR people in New York City getting any kind of publicity they could get on anywhere on the newspapers or television or radio. Say anything you want to about me, just spell my name right. Well, if say anything you want to about us, take whatever you want, but get our frequency right, get our names right. WOCA 1370. I know we're not worldwide yet, but we're coming, Hunter. We're getting there.
That's right, buddy.
All right, today on the program, we're going to have Kevin Sheely. As I said, he'll be joining us at 3:30. But then we're going to talk about the county. There are a lot of activities in this county, and very quietly they do an excellent job of putting recreational facilities and things to do in that county together. There's many programs. So we're going to talk to some folks today who deal with that, who make sure that around the county there's plenty of things to do and plenty of people to do it. We'll have a contingent in here. Judy McCormick, Beth Constantino, I think will be in also with Carswell Ponder later on to talk about the Homer Circle fishing tournament over at Dunellen. And Laura Klein's got another Boys and Girls Club guest. That's, by the way, what Carswell Ponder will be here for. And her guess is Brianna, as I remember. Is that correct? She's saying yes. I think Laura's had a tough day at school today. I can tell she is. So that's okay. You're entitled to one. We'll get you bounced back here. All right. So we will. We got that going on, and meanwhile, the headlines. You know by now what sequestration is. Yeah. Okay. It happened, I guess, and we're in it, whatever it is, and obviously we're going to feel some cuts They're saying now we probably won't feel them right away, but eventually we'll begin to lose services and so on. However, the news is that supposedly the Republicans and Democrats will get together in about a week and start working out something so that this can be resolved until next November. It's like we have a rolling budget. Like every 3 months we sort of redo it. You talk about gridlock. I'll talk about this after the break. When you're sitting in the White House in a meeting and one of the people get up and say, "I got to catch a plane," that's not a good sign. That's not something I think I'd be very happy about. And wait until you hear what the president said about it when that happened. Also, not the greatest news on the economy. I'll tell you more about how our payroll has shrunk last month. And then how about this? I've heard of a lot of things being contraband and being taken to the airport, but when's the last time you heard 207 pounds of insects being taken on an airplane? 207 pounds of insects. Wait till I tell you what they were. Oh, my gosh. Spare me from that. I'll have none of that. All right, well, stay tuned to the program called The Voice of Ocala. On a Friday, we're at the Gateway Bank, just out on the Highway 40, State Road 40. We'll be here till 6 o'clock. And at 6 o'clock, we're going to have our Joe Williams buddy from Denver. We'll talk a little bit about college hoops.
We'll do that before 6 o'clock.
Between 5 and 6. I'm sorry. Did I not say?
You just said at 6 o'clock.
Okay. I said it. Okay, I'm sorry.
We'll do that before 6 o'clock.
Yes, we will. But we'll be off the air at 6 o'clock.
Exactly.
Between 5 and 6, Buddy Sports page. We'll be talking to Joe. We'll talk some other sports in the area as well, including Gator basketball. All right, we will take a break. We'll return after this timeout on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. Source.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
This is Don with ABC Frederick's Appliance. Here's my daughter, Lena.
And hey, everybody, it's Lena. You need to come down to ABC Frederick's Appliance on County Road 25, just over the railroad tracks in Bellevue, where you are treated right with the right products like Whirlpool, Maytag, Crosley, and Speed Queen. These are the new ones. Don't forget, we also carry used appliances that we warranty. ABC Frederick's Appliance does repairs, too. Call us at 629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance on County Road 25, just over the railroad tracks in Bellevue. It's at 629-5181.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're ocalaforsale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to ocalaforsale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Stay informed on everything going on in the Villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the Villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Howdy. I want to invite you to Dairy Queen for a great deal and a great meal. Right now, Dairy Queen is offering a hot, juicy quarter-pound cheeseburger meal, including the quarter pounder with cheese, a fry, and a medium drink for only $4.99. And you can add a sundae for only $1. So if you love real grill-cooked burgers cooked fresh to order, come get a great meal for only $4.99 at Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
This is Tom Schmitz live from Gateway Bank with this news update brought to you by Gateway Bank. Haven Denny, an Ocala native, and Brandon Frazier gave the United States its first pairs title since 2007 at the World Junior Figure Skating Championships on Thursday. I think we have a really deep field in the U.S. right now, Denny said. It's really been competitive just to make it to the junior world team. This news break was brought to you by Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank. Join Buddy Martin today and every Friday for Community Gazette Day at Gateway Bank.
Hi, welcome back to the program, Voice of Ocala. Waiting for our guest here in just a moment. Sunshine will be here from over Rondo's. And before, just want to talk about one story, really weird story today, that if you haven't heard about this, a sinkhole is not uncommon in Florida. However, this one in particular was not only abrupt, but very devastating.
When you're sleeping, it's kind of a big deal.
Yes, and a man is still missing and presumed dead now after a large sinkhole in Seffner, which is near Tampa, opened up onto the bedroom of a house near Tampa. And his brother said the man screamed for help and disappeared. His brother apparently is the one who had this incident at 11 o'clock last night. And he said, when I got there was no bedroom left. And so, sadly, apparently, their brother in his 30s is presumed to be dead. Now, they're still looking for him there. But the sinkholes happen all the time. Fatalities are rare. This is one which is quite unusual because, well, it was devastating to the home, more devastating with the loss of life.
Well, and I was amazed at how quick the fire department in that area said that it was not a rescue mission, it was a recovery mission. This morning early on the news, I watched the 6 o'clock news this morning, they had already said it was a recovery mission, not a rescue mission. So,
all right, we got a special guest in-house. Tom's going to introduce Sunshine, and the folks out there are doing a really great thing he wants to tell you about.
Hi, well, welcome, Sunshine. Sunshine, how are you today?
I'm wonderful.
So we're talking about Ribs for Kids that are going to take place in the Mojo's parking lot tomorrow afternoon.
Yes. What
time does that start?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And tell us what Ribs for Kids is trying to accomplish.
Well, basically, Tim Thomas came to Rondo Fernandez, and Tim Thomas from Brooklyn's original pizzeria, and Rondo sat down and just came up with an idea to cook ribs, sell them, and the proceeds will benefit the 4 children that are listed.
Caden, Aiden, Alyssa, and Jalen, all 4 have cancer.
Yes.
And these are not they're children that range in the age of, I think one of them's 3 years old, all the way up to Alyssa she's 13.
Yes.
Tragic. You know, cancer is never something you want any of your family members to have, but especially children to come down with. And you're gonna tomorrow you're raising money, but there's a lot of people going to be there tomorrow special, too, aren't there?
Absolutely. We have a lot of special guests.
We're going to have Manny from Savage Wild, the Wild Boys, the Swamp Brothers. Al Roberts going to be there. It's 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, if I want to get ribs, what do I got to do?
We were hoping to pre-sell them, but we will have some available at the door for people that waited to the last minute. But if anybody wanted to go to Mojo's now and purchase a ticket, or any of these other locations, there's a lot of people selling them for us.
Wow, there are a lot of people selling these things. Ocala's Veterinarian Hospital, AJ's Deerwood Village, Center State Bank, Pinup Salon, Private Room Salon, Chiropractic Wellness. There are lots of people. Bubba's Fencing, Blessed Trinity School, Ocala Eye, the Lunchbox, Ritter's, Brooklyn's, Mojo's. So this isn't just a Mojo's event.
No, it's a community event. Everybody's pulled together, and it's going to be really big, and hopefully we're going to bring in a lot of money for these families.
So I just drive up, get my ribs, and drive off? Is there anything else to do, or
no.
is it just picking up ribs?
You can just drive up and drive off, but we would love you to stay. We have autograph signings going on. We have bounce houses, face painting, juggler, a dunk tank if you want to...
I'm not getting anywhere near dunk. I just seen the look Sunshine gave me for those out there listening. Full disclosure, I do trivia every Monday night at Mojo's Grill, so Sunshine and I know each other. She's at dunk booth and looked right at me like I should be in the dunk booth. We may be able to talk Buddy.
I think so.
We may be able to talk Buddy Martin into the dunk booth.
I think we could pull in some money for that one.
You put me in the dunk booth, we could raise a little money, I guarantee you. Buddy Martin to come out there and give you $20 and not want any ribs. He just want to throw the ball 20 times and knock me in to put me in the water. So you're going to have a lot of it. It's going to be a family community activity.
Absolutely.
It's not just a hit and run where you come up, get your ribs, and drive off.
No, it's there's a lot of different opportunities to raise money. If you're not a rib person, we've got T-shirts for sale. A lot of the families are involved as well. These children's families are setting up tents and selling their bracelets for them, and they wanted to be a part of it. So it's going to be a really big event, and the community is coming together. It should be a lot of fun.
Well, it's Ribs for Kids to benefit Caden, Aiden, Alyssa, and Jalen. And y'all didn't even try to rhyme Caden, Aiden, and Jalen, did you? It's tomorrow, March 2nd, times 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., the Mojo Grill parking lot at 506 South Pine Avenue. $20 for a full rack of ribs. They're going to have bake sale. Buddy, they're going to have a bake sale. I may have to go get the Dunkin' booth just because there's going to be a bake sale. They're going to have a photo booth, clowns. Okay, that rules me out right there. They're going to have clowns. Raffle.
Wait, you are the clown.
I am the clown.
The only way you can be involved with the clowns is if he comes with the clowns.
Right.
Otherwise, that's it.
See Sunshine telling jokes over here. Blood Drive. So Galen and those guys will be out there with Life South. With Life South, is that will be out there?
And we're doing a marrow swab as well.
Yeah, we're going to do match registry for bone marrow donor screening. Special appearances, like I said, by Manny of Savage Wild, the Wild Boys, the Swamp Brothers, Al Roberts. You can get all kind of autographs. You can have a great time, and it's to help a great cause. 100% of the proceeds go to benefit Caden, Aiden, Alyssa, and Jalen. So, Summer.
Sunshine.
Sunshine is me. Sunshine. That's fine. For some reason, I had Summer on my mind.
Well, because you get sunshine during the summer.
That's what it is.
Her sister's name's Summer.
Yeah, no.
And then she has... Never mind.
Yeah. Sunshine, is there a website they can go check out or anything?
We are on Facebook, and each one of the children have a website as well.
Kadenlove.com. That's Kaedyn love.com. Aiden, my angel, is on Facebook. Alyssa is, I don't see one for Alyssa, but I see one for Jaden, jalensjourney.org. So there's the website you can go to. Plus, I'm sure you can call Mojo's and get any information and show up tomorrow at 10 a.m. and lots of activities going on, DJ and everything. So it's going to be a great celebration, great community event to help benefit Caden, Aiden, Alyssa, and Jalen.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for everything you did for this event, Sunshine.
Thank you for having
I'll
me.
see you out there in the morning.
All right.
Thank you, Sunshine.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right. I'm just looking at this story that I'm getting ready to launch back into the headlines. Mike Bianchi has a story which I'm interested in knowing more about. Apparently, a kid in a high school game in Orlando whose mother was dying.
What?
His mother was dying. Kid was playing basketball, and the kid hit a game-winning shot, which was for his mother, and apparently the official overruled it. And,
No.
Quite a
stir.
I'll get Mike on next week. We'll talk about that. Okay, back to the news in Washington. Gridlock. Okay, gridlock. I don't know. I just concluded I don't know a whole heck of a lot about this. All right, because I hear even Mike Huckabee saying, "Well, I'm not really sure when sequestration started. Midnight, noon."
No, it's when President Obama signed.
No, but the point is that's what Obama. That's what Huckabee was saying. Is that no one is really clear about that, about when it is. There's no real date for it. It's not a real date. It's just a
well, no, he has to sign it today before midnight.
But it's not. It is. Well, no, that's not necessarily the case. That's not. According to Huckabee, they don't know exactly.
Well, Huckabee's wrong. Then they have to sign it tonight before midnight. That's the way the law was written.
It's not going to get signed. Okay, so whatever.
No, he's going to sign the cuts into effect. Obama's signing it today into effect.
Yeah.
He has to by law. He's required to.
Yeah, but I'm just saying anyway. It's not clear to the governor of Arkansas, formerly,
right,
exactly when this particular deadline, drop dead, is, and when the quote unquote sequestration officially starts. So I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say probably not clear to a lot of people. All right. You might be one of the 1%, Tom, who understands it. But America...
I've done a lot of research on it the last day.
Well, America does not understand it.
No,
okay?
of course
not. That's my point. And so this is going on. And then here's the thing. I get so aggravated at these people who want to posture these things. I understand what principle is. But, when Mitch McConnell walks out of a meeting in the White House, I don't care what party you're in. I don't care what your position is.
But you don't walk out of a meeting.
I don't care to, quote-unquote, catch a plane. I'm sorry. That's just not serving your country as far as I'm concerned.
You know what? And you and I, we have had some heated discussions about government on this station between ourselves. We are in 100% agreement on that.
Yeah,
You're not being a statesman and doing your job that you were duly elected to do, and I don't care what party you're in.
And I think that's what the politicians in Washington don't understand. They on both sides of the aisle, okay? And then here's the thing. Obama says, I'm not a dictator. I can't have the Secret Service block the door. I'm saying, why not?
Why can't you?
Block it?
It's your White House.
Go ahead and block it and say, you ain't getting out till we get this thing worked out.
I think that'd be the best idea to do. Yeah. That's what our founding forefathers did when they wrote the Constitution.
Yeah.
They locked themselves in Freedom Hall in downtown Philadelphia in the middle of July in heat. When there was no air conditioning, petticoats were a lot heavier then. They locked themselves in until it was done. What makes these guys think that they're more important than our forefathers?
Okay, we've had enough of our history lesson for today from us.
We got aggravated, by the way.
A more important guy here to talk to. But I'm only going to skip the story about 207 pounds of insects. And
we got to come back to that
story. We'll come back to that. Being put on the plane, or tried to, in England. Meanwhile, we're going to have this gentleman at 3:30, but let's go ahead and start it now. We'll go to break. It's good to have you back. He's, I don't know what he's been doing, but I can say one thing. He brought some mojo, apparently, from Kentucky, because since he's been here, things been happening. Even though necessarily they didn't start on us watch, we've closed some deals here, says Kevin Sheely.
New business every week, it seems like.
Seems like it. And so we'll welcome Kevin Sheely, who is the CEO of the partnership. That's all I'm going to say. Party still covered.
I'll take that.
And back on the show for the first time since your first week here.
That's right.
Good to have you.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yeah, you're busy. I saw you last night at the King of the Wing.
Oh, did you? Good. Yes, I was. I was. Enjoyed many wings.
You're getting a little taste of these events as you go along, which not unlike, I'm sure, where ARC does a great job out there. It's a really wonderful organization.
I tell you, it was a great event last night. They do a great job. I tell you one of the things that amazes me about this community. We must have more fundraising events per capita than any place in this country. I'm amazed. I was looking at my calendar, and of course, everyone wants to invite the CEP, especially the new guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just amazed at how many things are on my calendar in regard to that. And it says a lot about this community, about how philanthropic they are, how giving they are, how much they want this to be a great place.
You're exactly right, and you directly diagnosed that, and it's something we say occasionally on this program, and I'd like to remind folks, you won't find a more giving community. If Ocalans have a heart for something, they can get it done. And when you talk about the resources of this community, and you'll find this out, we have many great resources here, including our water and our air and our ground and whatever, but our greatest resource is our people.
Absolutely.
That's what we have here. So I know you're finding that out. So we're going to go to break, come back, but before we go, How's it going?
Oh, it's busy. Really busy, but really, really well. We're excited. We're seeing lots of good things going on. We hope everyone else is catching the enthusiasm, catching the excitement. We think that the future is incredibly bright, and that's not long-term future, that's short-term future as well. And so we're excited about all the good things coming down the pike, and we look forward to each day what's going to happen next.
See, even in the face of sequestration, that's a terrible word, by the way.
It
sounds like something part of the anatomy.
I'm surprised they haven't called it, sequestration gate or something, or some way to work that in there.
But even in the face of that, things are looking good?
They are. They are. I think that the biggest drag that we have is the same drag that everyone else in the U.S. economy has, and you all were referencing just a minute ago, is we need our friends in Washington to make some decisions. We need them to, with very certainty, say, this is what we're going to do. Good, bad, or indifferent, and we certainly want it to be good. This is what we're going to do, because businesses are just, they don't know what's going to happen, and so they're still sitting on capital, they're still uncertain, they're still scared. Some businesses are getting to the point of going, we got to do something. It doesn't matter what. I think we would really see the gates fly open if they would make some good, solid decisions.
Here's my dilemma, and then we'll go to break. We all know we're spending too much money. We have to make cuts. But we had surpluses, we wasted it. We had many surpluses, we wasted it. Now all of a sudden we're padding. But here's the other thing. The other side of that coin is, okay, we start cutting. We can't take another recession like we had. I'm sorry. Whatever we have to do to keep from having that needs to be done.
Right.
And I'm not, I don't know, I'm not a politician or I'm not a political analyst, but I can figure that out. So if that's the truth, then my answer is put the Secret Service money at the door and say we're not leaving until this thing is resolved. And even though this group couldn't resolve it there, the leaders of both parties. So until we can start reaching out to each other and understanding each other and actually getting our egos and our political platforms out of it, we're not going to get anywhere in this country. And locally, I hope we can overcome that locally at least. So
absolutely. Well, I think the great thing is locally in particular is we all have to see each other every day. We can't hide between, I'm all over here or they're all over there. We got to see each other, and I think that when you see each other, that forces communication, which forces you to get things done.
You're absolutely 100% correct, and I use this in this very example in two things growing up in this community. One is when you played high school football. If you lost on Friday night, when you walked the streets on Saturday morning, you had to hang your head because everybody was going to see. You knew that they were going to ask you what happened last night. The other thing is in small town journalism, if you screw up a story and you got to go back tomorrow and face somebody, you're more apt to work to get it right, aren't you?
Absolutely.
So, I think those are two qualities of a small community that's much smaller than now.
Right.
And you're right. It does, in fact, breed accountability, which is great. All right, Kevin Shealy, he's in the house. He's the CEO of the CEP. I can never get that. I just want to say boss. He's czar of business in the county. So that's all I care about. So he's in the house. We'll talk with him some more about all the plans, about what is going to happen now. What is going to happen with FedEx, coming here, and what's happening in the community, and he'll know all the good secrets and all the latest gossip. He's going to fill us in right here on the show. Stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala, live from the Gateway Bank on a Friday afternoon
on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com, The Source.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day, whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands. At Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444.
They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
So what did you do with your weekend? Me? I was flying, because I'm taking flying lessons from Ocala Aviation. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, I'd like to give that a shot, but I'm not quite sure. Well, I've got the solution. It's called the Discovery Flight, and that's exactly what it is. It helps you discover the wonder of flying and if it's for you. It's only $99, and it gives you the chance to learn a bit more about the airplane and then actually go for a ride with a flight instructor and take control of the airplane. That's how I got started, and now I'm on my way to being a pilot. Yeah, I know, scary thought, right? But the demand for qualified pilots is stronger than ever, and with the help of Ocala Aviation, you could make a career change and learn to be a commercial pilot. But it all starts with a Discovery Flight. So stop by the flight school, conveniently located at the Ocala Airport, visit the website at ocalaaviation.com, or call 861-7484. That's 861-7484. Ocala Aviation. Your adventure starts here.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala. It's Community Gazette Day and at Gateway Bank, and no more fitting time to have the guest that we've got. He's the czar of business, I call him, and he's new in town, and he's making a difference already, according to what I'm hearing. But Kevin Shealy was our guest the first week, and I thought you were right on the money when you talked about the geography of Ocala. I've quoted you on numerous occasions.
Oh, good.
Talking about, you know, being halfway between Miami and Atlanta, and
right.
Whatever number you said, 30 million people, wasn't that called?
40 million.
40 million people. Thank you for updating it. But let me just congratulate you on a great start. I went to the the chamber luncheon over at the Hilton or in the Grove. It was packed. I mean, you couldn't even get a seat in that place. And you had a terrific turnout, and it was a buzz there when I left about what was going on. I want to know, if you felt that buzz, and then if you've carried that over, and if it's still going, and what is happening.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. I don't know that you could be in that room and not feel the buzz. I think part of it was as soon as you got there and people realized how many people were there, people got excited. They got enthusiastic. Hopefully as they left, they got excited as they heard our vision. They forgave me for my few Gator jokes, and they were really able to.
You'll never live that down.
Rally around that, and you know, I think as people begin to see us implement to do exactly what we said we were going to do, and to begin to put those pieces in place. And we'll just be real honest. I mean, the timing on FedEx and R&L carrier projects could not have come at a better time. And that really continued the momentum, continued to get people excited. And that's what we want to do. We want people excited. We have a great community. We want them excited about the future, and we want them engaged as a part of that.
And last time we were here, we talked about, obviously, recruiting new businesses and the retention of the ones that you've got.
Right.
Have you gotten any pushback on part two? Have people come to you and say, hey, it's great that you're out there trying to get FedEx here, but I got my little store, ice cream store in the corner I've had for 40 years, and I'm struggling to stay in business, and you have helped me.
You know, we haven't yet, and that's certainly a valid point. And I think one of the things that people know, as we talked about that day, is we're going to do business retention, and we're going to put some serious resources behind it. In fact, the very next position we hire, hopefully here in the next 6 weeks, is going to be the first of 2 business retention positions. It's so important, it's got to be somebody's job. Somebody has to wake up every day thinking about, how do I help businesses that are here be successful? So hopefully here, I'd love it by the 1st of April, but we'll have someone on board, and the first of 2, that's all they do, is focus on helping those businesses be successful.
I'd be interested in the story about the FedEx situation, which I don't want to say you walked into it, but it was underway.
Sure, absolutely.
And you became a part of it, and certainly deserve some of the credit. How did that work for you? How did you sort of intercede in there? What happened, and what part did you play in facilitating this? Because someone told me that you did play a part in it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. There are 2 primary roles we'll play when it comes to recruiting companies. One is getting them in here, and kind of doing the sales as we go along. And then the second piece comes at the end, and that's facilitating the whole incentive discussions. And that's the role we really play, is to make sure that as we're negotiating with the city and with the county and with the state and any other entities that are involved, is that we're able to kind of make sure, you know, everyone's pieces are working together, that we're doing things that make sense, make sure everyone's following through and doing what they're supposed to be doing, make sure everything's staying on track. You know, FedEx, once they decided they were ready to move forward on the next step, they had a very aggressive timeline. And so we spent a lot of time just going back and forth between all the different parties. Hey, what else do you need? Okay, let me go make sure you got this. And making sure that everyone was getting the information they needed, the documents they needed, that all the pieces, that if someone changed one piece, how it impacted someplace else, being able to move some things around as we knew. So, you know, I laugh a lot and say we're Switzerland. We're everyone's friends. We're right in the middle, and we're just trying to make sure that all the parties are moving in the right direction.
I see now, reading today's Star banner, that there's also a FedEx Center going to Jacksonville. That's the report out there, and they're admitted that they were. However, you don't seem to think that's going to impact us in any way, right?
No, I really don't think so. You know, one of the things that FedEx, even from the time I was engaged and even in a lot of their public filings, talked about is that they're going to be adding a number of these facilities all across the country, all across their different platforms. You know, I think they are continuing to see their business, even in the downturn, their business continue to grow. And so they're just making the infrastructure, making the investments to allow them. I think you're going to see UPS and FedEx continue to grow as you see the Postal Service continue to decline. And so I think they're making sure that they're well positioned to handle
Makes sense. Makes sense, because after all, letter carriers, that day is just about over in terms of the Pony Express. And now this is another level. And certainly between the internet, where we can send our letters for free, then it's a matter of what do you want to send in the mail, and it's either a magazine or something, or it's a package. So that will be interesting to see how that morphs. You seem to feel like when you said when you came in, and you made a statement that we are off and running here, and I want to ask you about that statement.
Sure.
I mean, do you feel like, in addition to the infrastructure, the leadership is there, and our vision is focused? And what reason, I might say, do you have for this optimism?
Sure. Well, absolutely, leadership is there. Whether you're talking about the business sector leadership or you're talking about elected officials, they are all there. Everyone is at the table.
It takes alignment to make that work.
Absolutely. And it's alignment to helping everyone understand, here's how you benefit, and we all benefit together. I feel very, very confident that all of those parties are there, and they're excited. They're seeing that we're moving in the right direction. They're seeing the job creation. They're seeing the investment, and so everyone is wanting to maintain that and keep that moving forward. It'll be our job in the future to make sure that we keep everyone aligned and moving forward. But absolutely, that's why I can tell you we've hired a director of business attraction who started. He's been on the job for a month now, Brett Barnes, and Brett's been on the road all this week. Out selling, out telling the story of Ocala and Marion County.
And that is what it is, telling your story.
Telling a story, absolutely. And we've got to go tell that story. If we wait for companies to find us, we'll occasionally find some good opportunities, but we're going to miss lots of opportunities. As wonderful as our community is, a lot of people don't know about it. They're not going to wake up and think, we ought to go look at Ocala. It's just not going to show up on their radar. We need to go tell that story. As I like to tell elected officials sometimes. Someone's going to tell the story. When you go to campaign, when you go to run for office, do you want your opponent to tell the story or do you want to tell it? And that's what we're going to go do. We're going to go tell. And I think we can be aggressive and progressive in a way that, from an economic development standpoint, probably hasn't happened in Florida before. Florida's been so successful for so long without really having to work at it. And we're really going to be able to ratchet up that competitive piece.
You made a good point last time about that very thing in terms of telling your story, making sure you get out there and you're on the street and you're out there and traveling. You're telling people that story. You say you must tell your own story. And I said something to you about, well, how do you sell Ocala? And you said, let me tell you about trying to sell Kentucky. And you said, how about going into a room where people couldn't find it on the map?
Right.
And you say, look, everybody knows Florida, everybody knows Ocala, and that's when you began to tell that story. There's a certain element, too, of truth of the fact if you shoot an arrow in the air in Florida and you want it to land somewhere down in a geographical transportational mode center, there's a pretty good chance it will stop right here and land in where the Ocala 49 is.
Exactly.
And I know you know your geography. And it's been that way since Hernando de Soto came through here.
Right.
So this seems to be what we're capitalizing on now on this park. We've got it open. We got a business coming in there. How aggressively will we sell that to other businesses? And what is the progress report on the rail lines? Going back and forth, and just update us on 49.
We'll absolutely sell that park very, very hard. We already are. Brett, very first day in the office, is out on the phone selling that. The greatest challenge we're going to have is getting they're still putting in the roads, the water, the sewer. They're still putting in all the infrastructure. We could sell it as soon as that stuff's in. Is how quickly we'll sell it, because it is going to be prime property that people are going to be interested in. The rail, the plans are in place. They're going to put the rail spurs as there's need and as there's demand. Our biggest concern is that we're going to run out of property there. We wish that property was twice as big as what it is, or 3 times as big, because we know, Brett and I know from our experience, how much in demand that's going to be, and that there are going to be companies who are going to want to locate there as they become aware of it.
Good proof that there's something going on here, as I happen to know there's a reporter in town today talking to you about what you're doing, and they're want to model theirs in Lake Wales after what we're doing here.
That's
right? Am I correct?
You are correct.
All right, we'll take a break, come back. We've got a couple minutes more to go with the chairman of the CEP. He's a czar of business, as I call him, Kevin Shealy. After this time out on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com, The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little bit of something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
On Mondays, AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Dr. Ed Moore. He's the president of the Independent Colleges and Universities of Florida. He's going to tell us the benefits of the Florida Science Math Master Program.
Open for debate, where both sides of one issue will be discussed.
Richie Norton will be on. He's an award-winning entrepreneur. He's written a book called The Power of Starting Something Stupid.
Lionel Sosa was named one of the 25 most influential Hispanics in America by Time magazine. He's edited a book called The Children of the Revolution, families who fled Mexico and settled in Texas during 1910.
And then Matt Gibbs will be answering your questions about your cars on auto repair with personal care.
Dr. Michael Mosley is a science journalist and television personality with the BBC. He's written a book called The Fast Diet, Lose Weight with the Simple Secret of Intermittent Fasting.
And then psychologist Dr. William Penzer will be with us. He's written a book called How to Cope Better When You Have Cancer. All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Hi, welcome back to the program, Voice of Ocala. Our special guest, Kevin Sheely. We'll have, later on in the next hour, we'll have City Councilman Jay Bunsley, who walks by here about 3 times every Friday, but occasionally he stops and speaks, and today he did, so we'll get him back about 4:30 or so, 4:45, and talk to him about what's going on there. That's the city business to take cover with the council, you know what I'm saying?
I understand.
But before you run out of time, one of the big things about FedEx is, in addition to the numbers of jobs, is the wages, the level of wages, the average wage being $31,536. When you go recruit a business, obviously you want the best business, right, the most jobs, most money. But how realistic is it to be able to upgrade salaries around here with the kind of jobs we're bringing in?
Oh, I think it should be. I think it should be very realistic. I mean, our goal is to increase the average wage for the jobs that we recruit by 15%.
Really?
So that's going to push it more in the $34,000-$35,000 a year. And, of course, the 250 jobs with R&L carriers are pushing $50,000 a year. So we're kind of pushing that up. I think there's huge opportunity here, and especially if you look at the sectors that we're going after. Part of the reason we picked those sectors is because they would have wages that would raise the
Tell me about
wages.
some of those sectors you just mentioned.
Well, obviously with logistics, we think there's lots of opportunity there. 2, manufacturing, 1, aerospace, 1, food, prepared foods. A lot of opportunity there with both those sectors. Again, really good jobs, opportunities in both. Back office support, things like, in particular, tied to finance or logistics. The R&L carriers being a prime example to that. To be able to bring some things, we appreciate our call centers and we need our call centers, but also some of these other consolidated back office operations we think there's a real opportunity for. And so those are some of the areas that we're going to be focusing, and then, of course, equine, and not just growing the number of horse farms, but also growing the businesses and industries that support those farms.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly key for sure. There's talk about software companies and about becoming another Silicon Valley. Everybody wants to be Silicon Valley, but there are people who think we could do a lot more in that area. Is that part of it? I know, isn't that part of what they're doing with the Roberts is doing with some of the...
Absolutely. I mean, those are IT jobs, a lot of them. Even the logistics management, I mean, they're developing new software, new applications, new patents. I mean, really knowledge economy. Mm-hmm. If you look at the businesses that are being the most successful in the power plant, which is part of the CEP, those are knowledge-based businesses, very innovative, whether you're talking about Ocus or DS Media or some of the other companies there, Digital Fury, those are really knowledge companies. And so we want to grow those opportunities. Probably the best way we have to do that is through the power plant.
Even got a media company, Best Version Media over there.
Absolutely. That's right.
Well, in final minute, what should we look forward to now coming about the next 4, 5, 6 months? Or what do you expect to take place that will be newsworthy in the business domain?
A couple of things. We're out being aggressive. We're working with additional clients. We're going to continue to push that. You're going to see, hopefully, by summer, everything finalized on the FedEx deal, and hopefully maybe even late summer begin to see some shovels out there. You're going to see us continue to staff up. To do the things we said we're going to do, it's going to take some additional staff. And so I already mentioned that first business retention person. We're going to add a business advocacy person to make sure that we're letting local governments and state governments know the needs of the Ocala Marion County business community. And so those are key. And then finally, growing the business creation piece.
Very good. Kevin Sheely. Kevin, I have one tiny piece of business left to go. I know your heart bleeds red for the Cardinals.
That's right.
But, you have to become a pseudo-Gator fan at the very least. So let me just say this right now. Let me be the first one to ask you publicly to say, go Gators.
I'll say it. Go Gators.
All right. It's all forgiven. We're good to go. Yeah, the Cardinals are obviously had a little bit of a tough time there, but we'll see what happens in the postseason.
Absolutely.
But all right, that'll wrap up the first hour of the program. Thanks, Kevin Sheely. Well, coming up next, we'll have folks from the Boys Club, including Carlsville Ponder, talking about the Homer Circle Fishing Tournament over in Dunallen. Coming up next, right here on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
If you missed last Friday's Community Gazette Day at Gateway Bank, you missed the first installment of the Ask the Cop Show, airing every second and fourth Friday from Gateway Bank. With your host, Buddy Martin, Chief Greg Graham of Ocala's Police Department, and Sheriff Chris Blair of Marion County Sheriff's Office joined us to talk about what steps they took for a smooth transition once they took over the leadership role of their individual police departments.
Give me a 60-second update of what's happened in the Sheriff's Office.
Well, my first 5 weeks in there, the big thing is just looking at the organization and studying it. And we're basically looking at a lot of feedback. We're bringing retirees back to the Sheriff's Office, evaluators, along with some community leaders and business people to go into the Sheriff's Office, engage with our people there, the employees, to try to get some feedback, and so that we can look at the entire organization from a different perspective, and we'll make changes and do our organizational structure from that feedback.
And Greg, hasn't been that long ago you were doing the same thing with your department.
Yeah, I've been back a year now. January 15th is a year, and I truly believe, as does the sheriff, that the people that best know how to run the organization are the people that actually do the work in the organization. That's those men and women that are out there every day answering those calls for service, dealing with the public. So, I did the same thing. I sought a lot of input and engaged the men and women that work there, and we made some pretty significant changes and some small changes, and they've been part of the process, and it's gone really well. I tell you, I can't. I'm so honored to be back in Ocala, but certainly even more honored to have the opportunity to work and play with the men and women that belong to the Ocala Police Department.
Join us for Ask the Cops on the second and fourth Friday of every month, live from Gateway Bank's Community Gazette Day on the Voice of Ocala on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source. If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
In Clark, we trust.
Hi, this is Clark Howard. Join me every weeknight at 6, right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
If you add 0 plus 0 plus 0, it adds up to what? 0. For a limited time, you can drive a new 2013 Ford Fiesta, Focus, Fusion, Edge, Escape, or Explorer with 0 down, 0 do-it signing, and 0 first month payment. But if you're one who might need a little more influence, how about we include another 0? A 3-year, 45,000-mile complimentary basic maintenance plan. That's just the way we roll at Ford Lincoln of Ocala. It's the power of 4G. Great brands at great prices with great service from great people. You can miss out on a lot of things in life, but whatever you do, be sure not to miss this extraordinary opportunity to drive a new Ford with 0 down, 0 do-it signing, 0 first month payment, and no charge 3-year basic maintenance during Ford Lincoln of Ocala's Sign and Ride event. Browse our inventory from the comfort of your home at fordofocala.com, but you're still going to have to come in. You see, it's called a Sign and Ride event. See dealer for details.
They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
Hello? Can you hear me? Because if you can, then so can your customers. Radio works. Call today to advertise your business right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
WOCA. You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
ABC News Now, I'm Daria Albinger. If you think baby boomers are only focused on retirement, you're wrong. A survey by the research firm Global Monster says boomers are more entrepreneurial and they take more risks career-wise than Generation Xers or millennials. If you're wondering how the sequester, those big government cuts Washington's been warning about for weeks, are going to affect you, well, the IRS says one thing that you don't need to worry about is your income tax refund. If you're getting one, it will come, and it will come on time. However, it could be weeks before you start to notice the other changes. Most parents would rather see their kids read a book than play video games. Some may feel different after hearing about a new study. Italian researchers found gaming can help children with dyslexia read better. Playing for 12 hours did more to improve kids' reading skills than traditional treatments. McDonald's is cooking up a new menu, soon to be gone, chicken selects, and the fruit and walnut salad. This is ABC News.
Introducing a faster way to push to talk. AT&T Enhanced Push to Talk. AT&T delivers more of what your business needs. Instant communication, up to 1,000 contacts, plus a broad array of devices and platforms. Visit your local AT&T store or call 1-877-981-3359 to get your business started today. You push to talk, we pushed it further. AT&T, rethink possible.
New activations only requires 2-year commitment to eligible voice and data plans plus activation of AT&T Enhanced Push to Talk service.
Dan Kelly here, owner of Go Time Fitness. Constant Contact made it so easy to stay top of mind with customers. They have all these great products that help grow my business and keep people coming back. Now, I'm out here teaching my daughters the ropes. Fresh lemonade! Get it while it's cold! Not you, Billy. keep walking.
Dad, stop.
From deals to events, social to email, Constant Contact can help you grow your business. Find the solution that's right for you at ConstantContact.com.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala. Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Welcome back to The Voice of Ocala. On a Friday afternoon, we're live at the Gateway Bank at Community Gazette Day. And this is the day we talk about all things Ocala, what's going on in the world of business, what's going on in the world of arts and science and all those kind of things, and sports, and of course, most of all, what's going on in the community. I had the good fortune to be a part of a program last Friday at Golden Ocala. It was I think it was a Valentine's Day dance, is what it's called, put on by the Boys and Girls Club of Ocala. It was quite a nice affair. I was able to be there, and among the folks who were there was the guy who's worked on this on these events and worked with the Boys and Girls Club for a long time. It's my good friend Carswell Ponder, who's here to talk about fishing today. Hello, Carswell. How are you?
Hey, buddy. Just fine. Glad to be here. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, and you're always so active and everything. I remember when I saw you once. I was living in New York or something. You were on the Today Show. You were out in Silver Springs promoting something. What was that? Do you remember?
That was a Mike Douglas show.
The Mike Douglas show, yeah.
Yeah, we had an orange juice squeeze-off contest.
I thought it had to do something to do with oranges.
And our team in Florida, the way it got started was to challenge all the banks to see how fast a team of 4 people could cut and squeeze oranges, a gallon of oranges. And our team beat 80 different teams around the state, and as a result, we ended up being on the Mike Douglas show and challenged Mike and Anita Bryant and some of the Spinners singing group and some other people in a contest, and it was kind of rigged. It ended up being a real funny thing, but it was quite an experience to be there.
Well, you know, it's funny. Tom Schmitz, you know what other famous person started on the Mike Douglas show?
Tiger Woods,
correct.
3 years old.
Did he really?
Yes, he did. That was
wow.
It was a small tiger. Yeah, for sure. Well, we're going to talk about this fishing tournament. I know there are several fundraisers for the Boys and Girls Club, and one thing I've learned in just working on a couple of things at the Boys, like 3G Sunday, we went out there to work, our church did, and then being back out there for the event at the Golden Ocala, very nice event, by the way, good fundraiser, is how much, I know everybody needs money, but this organization just digs for every dime they can possibly get to keep things going. And I know you have to do this to keep the lights on and keep actively involved with how many hundreds of kids the whole thing?
We actually have 3 locations, buddy. We have Silver Spring Shores, Dunellen, and Ocala.
Right.
And we have over 900 kids that are members of the organization. On a daily average, we have over 300 kids that attend the 3 clubs. The one that we're trying to raise funds for this time is the one in Dunellen. We've got a grant to build a building over there, and of course they've just started breaking ground and getting started on that. And so hopefully before the year's out, we're going to have a new facility in Dunellen. And right now we have about 50 to 60 people a day, kids of the day, that attend there, and we're anticipating that's going to jump to 100 once we get the new facility. And of course, to provide all the different services that we have, such as teaching, we have after-school programs where the teachers help the kids with their homework. They have sports of various kinds, volleyball, basketball, and soccer, and this kind of thing. And then they have, if it's like our Ocala club, they'll probably have pool tables, ping pong tables, and other hand games kind of going. They have computers that they help the kids with to learn computer skills. They talk about health issues. I mean, it's not just a babysitting service. It's really a full-blown program to help kids to grow and achieve and believe in themselves and have a lot of success. And at the same time, it's a real safe place. And so the parents that bring them in know that their kids are going to be okay when they're with us.
Extremely important.
Very important.
We grew up at a time we were fortunate. We had a place called Cat's Corner.
That's right.
It was very safe. You never saw anybody getting in fights and problems there.
No.
And we had a couple of adults who came out and supervised. Tilly was one. Ron Cobb, our coach, was one. Very fortunate to have people who were looking after us. But today's world's different. It's not the same situation. You have to have good security.
I was part of the Boys and Girls Club growing up, and in a family, my father and my mother separated it when I was 10 years old. And so from the time I was 10 till I was about 15, if it hadn't been for the men at the Boys and Girls Clubs that coached me in boxing, because we had boxing at the one in Jacksonville and stuff like that, you think I'm a mess now. If it hadn't been for the Boys and Girls Clubs, I'd have really been a mess, probably.
We'd be doing this show from Rayford.
We probably would be. So that's something I don't think. It's a great time for boys, great player stuff for girls and boys to have activities, but it also, for kids that don't have maybe a full family setting, it's a great place you can get an adult mentor as well.
Well, it is. It's wonderful. We have, I think 60 to 70% of our kids are live in households with single parents. And of course they have to work, and of course they can't devote as much time in many cases that a lot of parents would be if it was a two-party
surrogate parent almost there.
Right.
Real quick before we go to break, I want to get into the fact that Carswell's brother is an artist, lives in Nashville. I had the good fortune of spending a day with him many years ago when I was up there. He came and rescued us during the snowy time, and Philip is involved in a lot of his paintings. I know hang in downtown, part of the downtown Nashville, and I know your late mother, Oni, who passed at, was it 115?
112.
112, yeah. I remember, what a dear lady, and sharp and lovely. Loved talking time I spent with her, as many others did here. And then look across here, there's Oni Ponder room right there, and they're just a few feet away from us. So what a great family. I wanted to just say, I want you to do me a favor. Next time you talk to Philip, find out what the real scoop is in Nashville versus the TV show that's on right now, okay? The TV show, which is kind of a soap opera, you know. Just tell him we want to know what the real scoop is about things in Nashville these days, okay?
Right. I sure will.
It's a little joke. Carswell, we got some guests coming up here. Would it be Beth or would it be Judy coming up?
Judy McCormick.
Judy McCormick.
Judy is the daughter of Homer Circle, and we elected to have this bass fishing tournament in Dunellen in his honor, and of course it's to raise money for the Boys and Girls Club over there. Homer was an advocate of helping kids in his life, and I'm sure Judy will talk about several instances that he did that. And what better way than to honor a man who, through a fishing tournament, who took care of kids, tried to help kids with fishing himself growing up. And Homer was a renowned, you probably knew him being in journalism for so many years. He was renowned.
I know who he was. I never had the pleasure of meeting him. A national figure.
Yeah, national figure. He wrote for Sports Afield. He wrote for the Ocala Star-Banner. He was in many film publications. He did a lot of work with Glenn Lau, and seeing a big picture on the wall here of Silver Springs. He and Glenn got started together on a film production there, and I'm sure Judy will probably touch on that. But rather than me talk about it, I'd rather have Judy come up and talk about it, and she's coming up right now. And
we'll take a break. We come back. Judy McCormick will be here. Well, you both can be here, and we'll take a break. Return to Gateway Bank on Community Gazette Day here on 1370 AM,
96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source. Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local local people have done and are currently doing. WinStar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. WinStar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. WinStar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's national magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444.
On Mondays, AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Dr. Ed Moore. He's the president of the Independent Colleges and Universities of Florida. He's going to tell us the benefits of the Florida Science Math Master Program.
Open for debate, where both sides of one issue will be discussed.
Richie Norton will be on. He's an award-winning entrepreneur. He's written a book called The Power of Starting Something Stupid.
Lionel Sosa was named one of the 25 most influential Hispanics in America by Time magazine. He's edited a book called The Children of the Revolution, families who fled Mexico and settled in Texas during 1910.
And then Matt Gibbs will be answering your questions about your cars on auto repair with personal care.
Dr. Michael Mosley is a science journalist and television personality with the BBC. He's written a book called The Fast Diet, Lose Weight with the Simple Secret of Intermittent Fasting.
And then psychologist Dr. William Penzer will be with us. He's written a book called How to Cope Better When You Have Cancer. All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Look who just walked in the room. Joel Wiesner from What's Up Ocala. Hey, Joel, I'm looking for something to do this weekend. You got any ideas?
Absolutely. Check out our event calendar online at www.whatsupocala.com, and there is plenty of events there for you. Daily news updates to event reviews and magazine articles.
Really?
We've organized it all in one place online for you to cut through all of the hassle of finding something to do this weekend. We have a daily event calendar, a bi-monthly magazine, and we also do daily news articles.
All right, Joel, that's perfect. Thanks so much.
Yeah, whatsupocala.com.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults, so use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000, 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
All right, welcome back to Gateway Bank on a Friday afternoon, Community Gazette Day, and we're talking Boys and Girls Club, talking about a big event coming up over in Dunellen. It's a fishing tournament. I think it's even called the Homer Circle Fishing Tournament, but who would know that? Well, maybe the daughter and granddaughter of the late Homer Circle might, and they're joining us right now on the program. Judy and Beth, good to have you. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
I'm going to let you, as a daughter, Judy, just tell us in about 30 seconds who Homer Circle was, for those who don't know.
Well, there's a quote, if you love the work that you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And that was my dad. He always said, I'm the most blessed man I know, because he fished for a living and got to go to places that anybody would love to go to. They went to Alaska 9 times, but all done, for fishing. I remember growing up, they would go to the gyms in the high school, and they would set up. He worked for Head and Fishing Tackle, and they, gave them the rods and everything to use for young people. And even though I was an only child, I had 4 children, and he always made sure that they got out to go fishing.
Had to have a line in the water, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. He really. He was such a kind man, and he always said that when you're climbing the ladder of success, be sure you turn around and grab the next man's hand and help him up, because you never know if you're going to be in that position. That was his philosophy.
Great philosophy.
Yes.
Yeah. I read a quote the other day about some along those lines. In life, the measure of success is not by how high you go, but who you take with you.
Exactly.
Which I think is great. So,
yes.
Well, that's great. And, of course, I know this has been passed down to the next generation. Your daughter, Beth, who's also here. What is your memory of your grandfather?
I don't remember much about the fishing. I just remember my grandfather. He always spent time with us, and he did the fishing with us, too. There was a pond in the neighborhood he lived in at one time. We used to go bluegill fishing with him. But my time's just more spent with him, just a grandfather. We didn't really understand the popularity he had, what he really did for a living. You know, I don't know about other famous people that have kids, but it was just my grandfather. Not a big deal. But his kindness and generosity, and just really spent time with us. You know, I've got so many memories of him, but I really have more memories of him the older I got. And that's what's important.
Do you have children?
Yes, I have a son.
Does he fish?
My son does fish. Not like he's supposed to, but
Well,
my grandfather spent time with him as well.
Yeah. Which brings up an interesting question. Judy, you probably know everything about him because you weren't there for his whole life. But you remember his story about how Homer started fishing? Do you have any remembrance of that at all?
You know, my dad he worked in a sporting goods store. He worked for
Whereabouts?
Springfield, Ohio.
Okay.
And he worked for the newspaper. And my great-grandfather had a place in the back where he had a shop. And my dad had some wood, and he made a bait out of wood.
Top water, obviously.
Yes. And he had contact with Head and Fishing Tackle, and he went to see them. And they said, you know, he said, I'm not sure we're interested in the bait at this time, but we are in you. And they hired him on the spot. And that was the beginning of his career working for Hedden. And when Hedden and Daisy Air Rifle merged, he moved to Arkansas and was vice president of Daisy Hedden.
How did he wind up down here?
When he turned 50, there was conflict because he was riding on the side. And there was some conflict, and Daisy said, you know, you're going to have to stop this riding. And he said, been nice knowing you. Sports Afield picked him up. Of course, that was a wonderful relationship for many, many years. And he had a choice of going to different places, Ocala, Alabama, and some other places, and he picked Ocala because of the bass fishing.
Yeah, great bass fishing.
Yes.
I grew up on these lakes and rivers fishing as a young boy. When I was 6 or 7, my dad put a Fred spool on a rod and reel and taught me how to cast in my front yard where I could throw it from 30 yards, hit the middle of a tire with it as a kid. He didn't like football or baseball, but he had me casting when I was 6 or 7 years old. We fished the rivers and the lakes here, a lot of great memories, and wonderful bass fishing, as you say. Well, that's great. Now, let's talk about how this relates to what's going to happen, the Homer Circle Fishing Tournament, and what that's going to be, and how did this come about?
Well, Carswell was called, and I was just really pleased that the honor of having my dad's name on this. And I said, of course, because that's something that he would be so pleased and so proud of to be associated with, because, you know, he did have a heart for young people. There was always these tournaments, and I remember being involved in some of them. And so it's just something that I'm very proud to be a part of.
How good a fisherwoman were you?
I was good at fishing. I was lousy at hunting. He took me one time, and that was it.
Yeah, didn't like to kill anything.
I didn't like to kill anything, and I cried, and he said, well, that's the end of that.
Yeah.
So fishing, yes.
Yeah.
And after, like, he would work and come home from work, we would go out and catch bluegill, come back home, cook it.
Yeah. And always cook it fresh.
Yeah, always cook it fresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know, always remember your first fish.
Yeah.
I can remember my first fish, and I was like probably 4 years old, maybe younger. I remember distinctly that all the big adults went out on Lake Weir and wouldn't let me go. My grandmother took me on the dock, and I caught the only fish, so I was really proud of that. I skunked them, you know.
That's right.
And I fished with my mother earlier. It's a great thing to be a part of for a family, and so and I know you're thrilled to have your grandfather honored here. What does your son know of your grandfather?
Well, my son, Rodney, is 24, so he's been around for a while.
So he knew him?
Oh, he knew him very well,
Yeah.
absolutely. And he would come talk to my grandfather.
You look like you're much older than 24. How could you have a 24-year-old
You
son?
are a sweetheart. He would go over to my grandfather's house and just go hang out with him and talk to him. My grandfather has stories
I bet
stories.
he did. Yeah.
And one of my grandfather's very good friends was Sam Walton, who happens to
Pretty
be...
good name.
Pretty good name. And when he lived in Arkansas, he was his hunting buddy.
Yeah.
But Sam had a piece of property with a pond on it. And my grandfather gathered some girls that needed to be taught how to fish. Of course, the first thing he did was put the worm in their hands. You know,
That's the first test.
That's the first
you get
test.
the worm on the hook, you can make it. If you don't, you're done.
That's right. And he taught them how to hook it. And once they got over that fear, it wasn't a big deal.
Right.
And that's the kind of person he was. He took time. And he explained it, and he showed them. And once they knew how to do it, it was over with.
Yeah.
And then once the first fish came in, you know, they
You're
freaked
hooked.
out. You're hooked, but they freaked out.
The fish is hooked, and you're hooked, too.
That's right, yes. And he showed them how to take, you know, grab a hold of the fish, take the hook out. Oh, they were done. They didn't want to leave.
Yeah, that's funny.
So, and that's the kind of person he was, and he did that with my son and with everyone. He spent the time and explained it, and he was just amazing with people.
I got a feeling your kids are going to be also fishing.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You know, speaking of Sam Walton real quick, just a quick story. I don't want to try to up what you told the story, but I did hear a story about Sam Walton through a guy I knew who was a coach at Arkansas one time, Frank Broyles, and he used to hunt with Sam Walton. And he had another friend there. They were at the Masters one year, and Sam Walton had just died. And this guy said to me, "Let me tell you a story about Sam Walton, how tight he was." He says, "Okay." He says, "I hunted with Sam for 35 years." He said, "I'd see him go flush some quail out and stuff, and the dog. And so I always see him bend down on the ground. I could never figure out what he was doing. And finally one day I walked over and looked at him. I said, 'What are you doing, Sam?' And he was picking up the empty cartridge shells and taking them home and refilling them." He said, "Now that's tight."
Well, that's funny because my grandfather would tell me that they would go hunting, and it would be snowing, it's cold, and my grandfather would notice holes in his boots. And Grandpa goes, "You have a whole store full of boots. Why don't you go put a new pair on?" He goes, "Because I hate breaking in new boots. I'd rather have my socks sticking out." You know?
That's why he was so rich.
Yes.
So what is this event coming up? What's the date of it? Do we know the date?
March 9th.
March 9th.
Next Saturday.
So is it just a one-day deal?
I believe so, yes. One day.
Carswell's got to come closer so we can talk. But anyway,
he's got more of the info than we do.
So it's a one-day deal, and Carswell's going to give me some information here. In fact, would you just borrow Judy's headset real fast and give us this? So we want to make sure we get this information in.
Yes.
I enjoyed talking with you ladies, and we prefer we stayed talking about that, but we got to do some business for you.
Absolutely.
Here. So Carswell, Uncle Homer's Memorial Bass Tournament, March 9th, as you say, celebration of the life and contributions of the late Homer Circle. It's located at the Dunellen Boat Ramp.
Dunellen Boat Ramp,
and
right.
of course, I fished it with Lacucci and Rainbow. What a great place. The Rainbow Rivers is fantastic.
They've got some big fish over there, so we're hoping for some great things.
Yeah, so it's an entry fee of $100, and you're paying back out 75% of all the entry fees.
Right.
So you're getting something back, and you're getting it going to a good cause. First place, $2,500.
If we get 100 boats, then we're going to pay out $2,500 first prize and $1,800 second prize and $1,000 third prize, and 7 more. We're going to pay up to 10 places.
Tom Schmitz, you better get your hook and a pole and get over there at that kind of rate.
I have good friends of mine that are bass fishermen that like to fish. Only fishing I like to do is at the fish market where it's already been cleaned and everything. I like it already cleaned and ready to go in.
Well, all the proceeds go to the Boys and Girls Club of Marion County, which, as we talked about before, and it's a terrific event. Carswell, what else do we need to know about this? So, folks, is there a telephone number to call, or is it? I see a box number. You write out the checks to Boys and Girls Club of Marion County. Be careful because you're going to be too late if you don't get it in pretty soon. If you want to mail it, P.O. Box 4109.
Right.
P.O. Box 4109, Ocala 34478, and just send it out to like a check payable to Boys and Girls Club of Marion County. It's $100 entry per boat. 2 people per boat, no more. 2 people per boat. So 50 a person. That's not bad. Yeah.
And we're going to pay out a lot of that in cash. So.
Yeah. What else do we need to know about this?
Well, it's they can register that morning. In fact, they tell me this is our first time we've done a bass tournament, and everybody I've talked to says that a good many of the fishermen don't come until that morning to register. We will have registration starting at 4 to 6
a.m.
Right.
Right there. See, there's another reason that rules me out.
Now, let me just say this. Whoever the volunteer is for that, good luck on getting them up at 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock from Ocala to get over there in time. So,
well, we've got volunteers. I just hope they show up.
Yeah, you better give them a wake-up call just in case at 4 o'clock in the morning. Woo.
Yeah. So anyway, we're pumping for it. And one other aspect of it is we're going to have a pool that anybody wants to come in for the Big Bass Award. It's $10 a person, and then all that money goes to whoever wins. So if you get 100 guys to kick in $10, well, that's $1,000, and that'd be pretty nice to bring in the big bass and walk home with that kind of money.
Maybe I may start fishing.
You need to go see Uncle Homer first and learn how to thread a worm on it.
That's my problem.
I know you can't thread it.
No. Any reel,
that's so girly.
Any kind of rod and reel I ever use. About the 4th cast,
you snap it.
No, it's just all tangled up a mess.
Hey, let me just teach you. It's called backlash. Okay.
Yeah.
You should be able to handle that.
Once again, fish market, clean fish on ice.
Yeah. Your idea of casting.
I'm a good old boy about a bunch of things. Yeah. Fishing ain't it.
Yeah. I thought you worked for a website called the Redneck.
I do the Redneck Roundup. But, hey,
you can't fish. You're out of here. You're not a redneck.
I can shoot a deer, hang it from a tree, and clean it with the best of them.
Yeah, but you can't fish. You're not redneck.
I can't fish.
You're not redneck.
Well, I fish every now and then. And like the fishing the aquarium at the dentist office.
Sure, yeah.
Paper clips and some string.
Oh, yeah, you do. Let's see. Uncle Homer's Memorial Bass Tournament, March 9th. Check it out down on the boat ramp. Get there early in the morning if you want to get up early and get your check written out.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
And buddy, we do have applications at quite a few spots. We have at the chamber over there, and we have them at the at the Blue Gator restaurant, and we have them at several locations in Ocala. So Gander Mountain has a lot of apps.
I'll go to the Blue Gator and check to make sure it's there, buddy. Just to make sure Ponder's telling us right. I'll go to the Blue Gator and check on that.
All right, good.
Carswell, thank you, and thank you to Judy and Beth for coming today. Ladies, all the best to you. Enjoyed your stories about Homer Circle. And we're going to take a break, come back, and Laura's going to have a Boys and Girls Club guest as well. Boys and Girls Club, getting a lot of stuff going on here. We'll take a break and return after this time out on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Recently, I had a great conversation with General Manager Pat Murray on the special events at Country Club of Ocala.
We have a lot of special events here that are geared towards the family. Easter comes to mind. We have an Easter bunny who hops around on the driving range. We usually hide somewhere in a neighborhood of 3,000 eggs and turn them loose and let them go harvest the eggs. We have a great family celebration here on the 4th of July where it's a traditional cookout, if you will. And as the sun goes down, the driving range becomes alive with probably one of the better fireworks displays in the area. Breakfast with Santa is a big deal.
Country Club of Ocala, where the Easter Bunny, Santa, and all the children, large and small, are a big deal on every special occasion. For more information, call 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of the Monday Gator Report right here on The Source.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Alice?
Yes, George?
Did you know I'm a truck driver now?
What?
I called Devon Self-Storage at 873-0777, and John and Mike now have a moving truck.
Are you cleaning out the garage?
Well, I do have time because Devon Self-Storage is open late, and they're right across from Hobby Lobby on 200.
You better call them first and reserve the truck.
Why?
So I'll know when there's room for the car.
Yes, Alice, yes.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
The number of complaints against debt collectors has jumped 56%. They're using scare tactics now to try to get you to pay up. We are now spending more than 53 billion minutes on Facebook every month. That works out to roughly 101,000 years. When a woman feels comfortable with a man, she'll tilt her head in any direction, right, left. If your crush does this, it's a sign that she's interested in getting to know you better.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Why is everyone so obsessed with virtual reality and high definition? My neighbor came over yesterday to show me the photographs he took of the pansies and dianthus that I got from Kenny's Place Nursery. He had this electronic pad, and with the flip of his finger, he showed me these beautiful shots he took in my garden. Then he said, you can almost smell them. That's when I used my finger and motioned him to the garden, and then pointing with my cursor, also known as my finger, I pointed toward the real flowers from Kenny's Place Nursery, and I said, I can smell them. Instead of virtual reality, I enjoy real reality. But it is more than the beauty of the pansies and dianthus and more than their fragrance. It's the way they move in the breeze. It's the butterflies and bees that are attracted to them. You know, the plants I get from Kenny's Place Nursery from my garden in the real world provide me with an outdoor sanctuary to escape from that virtual world. Kenny's Place Nursery is located at 7677 Southeast 41st Court in Ocala. Give them a call at 867-1213. Kenny's Place Nursery, where the plants, the people, and the mission are all beautiful.
How good does it get? Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
All right, welcome back to the Voice of Ocala on Community Gazette Day at the Gateway Bank. And before we get our special guest, Councilman Jay Musley, who's actually considered to come on the radio with us today after a 2-month ban. Apparently, he's banned us for 2 months.
Yeah, he banned us. We didn't ban him.
He banned us. Yeah, so you're going to get to him.
Maybe because of your tweets and quotes.
Could be. Well, that's what we're going to find out. But first, this news story. This is the year for weird stories. Guy was stopped in Gatwick, in London, at Gatwick Airport. He had 207 pounds of something that he was taking with him to eat.
You said 207 pounds of insects?
207 pounds of dried caterpillars.
And he was going to eat them?
I'm just thinking, how many could that possibly be? That's thousands and thousands. And I don't know what he's going to do with them. He was packing them up, taking them on board. They said, time out, you can't take that. And they asked him about it, and he said, yeah. He said he actually had to give up the thousands of shrink-wrapped caterpillars. Shrink wrap.
I remember when I was a little kid, we'd get the caterpillar nest out of the trees and all, and there'd be 100, 105, 110 in there. Maybe we'd put them in the little mason jars with the holes poked in the top.
That's fireflies.
No, we did it with caterpillars.
Oh, okay. Well, you're
different.
But
we never wanted to eat the things.
Yeah. Well, it's a different country. Anyway, JJ, fire up the tweets and quotes, and we'll get ready to have Councilman Musley on here. We'll give you our tweets and quotes for Friday afternoon. This first one is from Josh Billings, whoever he is. There are two kinds of fools: those who can't change their opinions and those who won't. Washington, are you listening? Number two, this is a serious one from Helen Keller. It's ironic that she would say this given her condition and handicap. Never bend your head. Always hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye.
Right.
And, of course, she was blind. And finally, this is my favorite of the day from somebody named Austin Huff. Brett Favre should be the next Pope. He'd retire, and then he'd come back.
Again and again and again.
There you have it. Tweets and quotes for a Friday. Now time to welcome back to the show the guy who bought me lunch. I have to be nice to him because this is his bank. Jay Musley. Councilman, how are you?
I'm fine, buddy. I enjoyed buying you lunch today.
That was a nice
good to have you at the club.
Thank you. And you had a good program featuring. Appreciate you featuring the Marion Theater, by the way.
It's a worthwhile organization, and they're a big part of the downtown revitalization.
Yeah, isn't Carmen Soto such a sweet person? She really is, and
very nice lady.
Good people. So catch me up on the city's business. I had Kevin Sheely here for a half hour talking about economic development. It seems like that's the only thing we talk about anymore. That seems like that's because it's high on the list of priorities, and we all need jobs and money, but there are other issues. What are the things in the city's business right now that you think, besides economic development, that you are looking forward to tackling or not looking forward to tackling that you're dealing with?
Well, I think one of the harder issues right now, and we are dealing with it, is the pension reform. Mm-hmm. And we've had several workshops, amongst council members with a lot of input from the current employees, management team, and also our actuaries and other advisors. And I think we'll be able to bring an ordinance in one of the April meetings to bring this thing finally to fruition and put it to bed. Our pension cost for the general employees run about 42% of payroll. You figure that out. For every dollar you spend on payroll, you're spending another 42 cents on pension cost. It makes it very difficult.
That includes police?
The police is a different number. We actually have 3 separate pension funds.
Okay.
We have the general employees fund, the police fund, and also a fire fund. Our costs are similar for police and fire, but they are not that high.
Really?
Yes.
You think they'd be higher?
I think if it takes some digging to get down to it. A lot of it's market related. Because each one of them's managed a little differently.
Might be longevity too, because police retire at 20, and a city employee may stay for 40.
Right. But anyway, it's being tackled.
Tough one.
It is a tough one because you're talking about people's future.
They work for it. They figure they got it coming. It's like
Yeah.
Social Security taking away from those seniors. I mean, mine. In reality, they're not paying for it. Social Security, they're not really paying for it because it's the next generation. But it is the idea that you put your money away for a rainy day and you need to have it, and it's a hard one. There's no easy way. And someone suggested to me that maybe the best idea was to figure out how to just to gradually put this new program in by just saying the new employees, the new people, just by attrition, you let them trid out, but the new people come in and have a different plan.
I think we're leaning towards that plan.
Are you?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I got 4 of the council people that will have a vote in that, but that's the plan that I'm leaning towards is a modification for the current employees and steering the new employees into what we call a defined contribution plan, where you just contribute X percent, and they manage, for their own retirement.
Right. Well, we heard all the good news about FedEx and the things happening. I know the city's had a little bit of a role in that. We're still crossing our fingers on Silver Springs. Something may happen there. It's going to be a state park. What else? We don't know yet exactly from concession standpoint. Ocala 49 is certainly going great guns now, at least hear Kevin Sheely talk about it. And the city was an early leader in the clubhouse back when downtown and putting forth some plans for the development of the east side of the square, etc. That died out. Now we're back to square one with the idea that we can put a hotel in over there. Where do you stand on that issue of what that property should be, and how would a hotel go on that property?
Well, I mean, that's a very good question. As far as where do I stand on it, I'd like to see the market dictate to us what will be there, and if a developer comes to us and say it needs to be retail, then so be it. If it needs to be a hotel, so be it. I mean, as you well know, we have a developer group that's currently looking at that site right now for a hotel. We've not been given details as to what extent they're looking for the city to participate in this, and also how it will be financed. So those are questions that are going to have to be answered. If you can fit a hotel on that site, and I've been told you can, then I think it could be a boon to Ocala. But with any opportunity comes also a challenge, and then the challenge will be the parking, because it will bring parking to the forefront.
So that would bring back the Bank of America lot into play.
I think you're exactly right. And we have some money in the downtown CRA that could be designated for a parking garage. So we'll just have to see if that's the case. We go how the numbers are all going to shake out, and who's going to pay for what, and does it make financial sense? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to want to see a study, by a reputable firm, to see it. Can you support a downtown, either quote boutique hotel or flag hotel, one or the other?
Nostalgia isn't always the answer to today's problems. I do like to think there are parallels between, as I often say, Hernando de Soto coming through Ocala on his way up, and this place being a central hub for transportation, as we've seen with FedEx. Also, I'll go back to the years of 1800, and you look at that block, what it was. The Ocala House was a very, apparently, I wasn't around then, although some think I was, very elegant place to go for a hotel, and it was a beautiful, beautiful place. I just think about, it worked then. I wonder why it couldn't work now. But what a great centerpiece it would be if you had the hotel, shops and restaurants, and condos behind it over on the old Sprint site. What a great complex, because until you get people staying downtown, either overnight in the hotel or living there, you're not ever going to have a really vibrant community, and that's what we need.
That's exactly what. I mean, people have to live down there or stay down there to really take it over the top. And and make it a vibrant downtown like we all want. Would like to have.
Yeah. So you've been at it now for what, a year and a half?
Just a year.
Only a year.
Yeah, I was elected at the end of April, so it's not even quite a year.
Yeah, I was thinking you were.
I was campaigning this same time last year.
I forgot. I was thinking you came in at the end of that year, but you came in April. So.
I came in April, and then I'll have to run again in this October.
All right. So what have you learned?
I've learned that there's two sides to every coin, two sides to every story.
Three sides to every story.
The story that the media spins. But
there's your side, my side. There's the truth.
I've learned that we have a lot of very dedicated City of Ocala employees.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of impassioned citizens who are very, very concerned about their city, and it's getting a chance to see government work at its bare bones level.
You had a unique perspective growing up here. Your late father, of course, very involved in this community, Ray, and now you're seeing that you're one of the leaders of the community. What do you have in the final 60 seconds? What's your vision for this city?
I would like us to continue to grow and prosper. I think prosper being the key word over growth. But at the same time that we grow, that we somehow, if we can, keep our small town charm and keep what's made this town really, really good.
Good answer. Councilman Jay Musley, appreciate you coming by, dropping by.
Buddy, thanks for having me.
We're back on your list now. We're not off the list anymore.
You were always on my list.
You were always too busy. You just always walk right past us and didn't even say hi.
Well, no, Tom would give me the evil eye.
Tom did?
Tom would.
Well, that's because he has an evil. That's the only eye he has. There is no other eye for him.
Oh, okay.
All right, Jay Musley. Thank you, Councilman.
Okay.
We'll take a break, come back. I believe Laura's guest has arrived, and we'll talk about that next, right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Relations got you down. Are you at your wit's end? Does the opposite sex just confuse you? Then I've got the solution for you, Dr. Buddy.
Well, let me just tell you what you slugs are doing wrong. Remember, dummy, it's about the chase and the romantic interludes, okay? Now, here's the difference. Instead of dinner and a movie, which seems obsolete these days, they have this random phone text, Facebook post, instant message, and quote-unquote non-dates. Traditional courtship, which is still what women want, guys. picking up a telephone, asking someone on a date, maybe even going as far to pick them up in your car, requires courage, strategic planning, and a considerable investment in ego.
So now you know where to tune in to get all your relationship advice. It's the Dr. Buddy Show every Monday on the Voice of Ocala. You can succeed only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
You make promises in life when you get married, have kids, buy a home. You make promises to take care of the ones you love. Auto Owners Insurance promises great service, and we delivered again. J.D. Power and Associates ranked Auto Owners Insurance highest in customer satisfaction with auto insurance claims 3 years in a row. Auto Owners, promises made, promises kept. For award information, visit jdpower.com.
Visit George Mangan Insurance, 725 Northeast 25th Avenue, Ocala, where the customers do come first.
Harvick down to the inside of the racetrack, and the car is slow. Harvick off the pace.
The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series is on the Motor Racing Network. Coverage continues Sunday with the Subway Fresh Fit 500 from Phoenix International Raceway. Hear it live at 2 p.m. on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. And for ticket information, go to motorracingnetwork.com.
In Clark, we trust.
Hi, this is Clark Howard. I'm so excited to be on in Ocala, where I visit twice a year because I have relatives in Ocala, and it's great that my show is on every evening at 6 p.m. right here on WOCA, The Source.
Marion County's information station, WOCA, News Talk 1370.
WOCA.
We're back on the Voice of Ocala Community Gazette Day, live from the Gateway Bank. And a little early, she's still going to do her sports show, but we also have Laura Klein's going to join us now. She has a special guest. Laura, take it away.
Thanks, Tom. Actually, I was very fortunate to be able to go to the Rock with the Ducks Boys and Girls Club benefit last weekend, or 2 weekends ago now, actually it is. It was a really great time, really great show that was put on, emceed by Buddy himself. And I'm here with one of the members from the Boys and Girls Club that was at the benefit last night, or 2 weeks ago, sorry. Brianna, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Laura?
I'm doing great. Tell us about what the Boys and Girls Club and the opportunities that you have there.
The Boys and Girls Club is actually a very wonderful place for the kids to go because some kids are unfortunate to go home to a happy family all the time. So the Boys and Girls Club basically gives them that place to go to. If they're upset or they have an issue at home, we're there to support them. We provide them opportunities for scholarships for, as in our seniors, we help them get on the right track and make sure they actually graduate high school and move on to a better career. We also have a Keystone group for the ages of 14 through 18, and I am the secretary of that group. And we are actually supposed to go on a Keystone Conference of Nationals. We are a gold membership.
Wow, but tell us more about Keystone. What exactly is that organization?
We are actually a leadership group that goes out amongst our community to give back. We have a lot of fun. We go on trips, community services. We actually did a recent one called Smiley Day for Valentine's Day, right before Rock with the Ducks, of course. Mm-hmm. And we went to the old people, we gave them carnation flowers, and we made them smile and did a little skit, and it was so much fun. We made them happy and laugh.
What opportunities through Keystone and through the Boys and Girls Club can some of the members receive, like such as scholarships? What opportunities are there?
Through Keystone, we can also get a job as well with our recommendation, and helps with your scholarships, because if you put down that you're part of the Keystone group, and it gives you community service hours for Bright Futures, and it also helps you out with basically showing that you have a broad opportunity of things you've done. You gave back to the community more than a normal high school student would, because we're doing community service projects every day. Well, not every day, but every week at least.
Right. Tell us about a typical day at the Boys and Girls Club. I know I've been there. I volunteered a little bit last year and a little bit this year, but tell us about a typical day. I know it's very crazy, but what is it like from your perspective?
From my perspective, the Boys and Girls Club is, I get there, I'm also a staff member, so I get there, I have about 30 minutes to hang out with the kids. I get a little snack because you got to sign in the teen center if you're a teen. Have a snack, say hi to the kids, let them know that you're there, have the kids run up to you, say, hi, Ms. Bree, or hi, this staff member, this person. They show you love and they smile at you all the time, unless they're having a bad day, but everybody has a bad day, so. And I clock in, I come and I work with the little kids, we go in the gym, we go outside, arts and crafts. It's just so much fun. I love their smiling faces as well.
I know Kid Stop, the youngest, was my favorite group, and the group I worked with when I was there. It's the 5, 6, and 7-year-olds, the most rambunctious, the craziest of the crazy, but the most fun to work with. It's tiring and it's exhausting, but the work that the Boys and Girls Club does is unbelievable. You specifically, what are some opportunities that you've received through the Boys and Girls Club, through Keystone, and maybe through your work there?
Well, actually, through the Boys and Girls Club, I always played volleyball during the season because in middle school I wasn't able to because I didn't have transportation. But this sophomore year, I actually made the JV varsity team for Westport High School because Mr. Jerry and the other staff members made sure that I had all the volleyball skills I needed to make the team. I also have been able to receive a job with the Boys and Girls Club because of all the work I've done for them and how dedicated I am to the children. And I've also been able to make my education go broader because I had sometimes a learning disability, so it helped me get back on track, and I'm also eligible to graduate a year early.
That's great. That's incredible. Tell us about some of the staff members that work there. I know Miss Council and Mr. Jerry. Tell us about some of the staff members and how they've impacted you.
Mr. Jerry has impacted me the most because no matter what, Mr. Jerry's there. If I needed a ride home, he was there to take me home. If I had an issue, he would always be there. We have arguments every week because he's always trying to make sure I'm okay. If I'm upset, he's like, I know you like a book, Brianna. What's wrong? What's going on? He'll sit there and talk to me, let me know, hey, it's going to be okay. Just smile and keep on going. You're the best and you're talented. And I just appreciate it because every day they tell us that they're good, we're not bad kids, we can do more.
I remember my junior year when I was there, and I was working in Kid Stop with Miss Council. We would have long life chats about college and boys and the kids, and it's just the staff members there are so nurturing and so incredible, and it's such a worthy organization. I know that I've overheard that the Rock with the Docs raised a lot of money for such a deserving organization. It helps so many children each year. It's just incredible. If your favorite memory from the Boys and Girls Club, what would it be?
Just spending time with the kids, actually. That's my best memories because I get to change their life every day.
Absolutely. Well, I wish many more of those memories to come, and thank you for being here with us today. Tell us about the Boys and Girls Club.
Thank you too, Lauren.
Laura, I think you're trying to take my job. I'm just going to be honest with you.
It's coming. You better be ready because it's coming.
I think you're trying. You got great guests coming on. I think you're trying to take my job, to be honest.
I don't know when was the last time you had a 2-time Super Bowl winner.
Well, there you go.
On your show.
That's what I'm saying. So, coming up next, Buddy's Sports page. It's made the national news. It's made national headlines. That's right, Buddy's Sports page made national headlines. Plus, we'll have the high school report. All that and more next on the Voice of Ocala Buddy Sports page on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. And Joe Williams, too, on The Source.
Hi, I'm Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness, Ocala's premier small group and personal training fitness studio. Did you know you can achieve all your fitness goals, whether that's losing weight, getting fit, or training for a personal best, all with no membership fees? Have you ever been embarrassed or intimidated at a big gym because you're not a Greek god or a size 0 supermodel? Have you ever felt like your gym would rather you not even show up? At KMF, we have a team approach that focuses on small classes and personal training, and you'll feel like family, not just another number. No more boring treadmills or endless reps. Our classes are fun, energetic, and get you the results you want. And I should know, with the help of our great trainers, I lost over 100 pounds in 8 jean sizes, and I did it using no heavy equipment and no magic pills, just fun and effective workouts. And yes, I did say fun. Come join us at KMF. Visit our website at kmfocala.com or like us on Facebook. Again, that was kmfocala.com.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day, whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands. At Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
Hello, this is Jeff Miller reminding you that this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Miller's Boating Center, your local Mercury dealer, will host our 22nd annual Boat Show and Fishing Expo. Meet fishing pros Shaw Grigsby, Terry Scroggins, Captain Rick Murphy, and more. Free fishing clinics all 3 days. Seminars by Humminbird and Minn Kota, and special discounted pricing throughout the store. Save money on over 200 new boats in stock from Carolina Skiff, Tidewater, Triton, Shearwater, Sea Arc, Alumacraft, Lowe, Sylvan Sun Chaser, and our newest additions, Actioncraft and Gatortail. Purchase any of these with a new Mercury outboard and receive a special Mercury Cellathon package. Special financing is available, free admission, parking, and prizes. For more information, go to millersboating.com or call 1-877-898-1466. Only at Miller's Boating Center, your award-winning Mercury dealer, 2 miles north of Ocala on Highway 441, helping you enjoy the water for over 30 years.
Say you'd like to grow a couple citrus trees, but you live in a home with a very small yard or just a patio or no yard at all? That problem is solved with the new dwarf citrus trees now at special prices only at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens during their spring garden show going on right now. These lush beauties are barely 5 feet tall, some bearing fruit right now, and they grow in a pot or on a tiny sliver of dirt. Bob has just received a truckload of these popular dwarf trees in several varieties, so check them out. Other fruit trees as low as $59.99 this week. This is during the Bob Wine Spring Sale. And with each tree, you'll get a flyer showing you just how to grow your tree into lots and lots of fruit. Don't miss this exciting event. Hundreds and hundreds of bargains, super low price this week only. The Spring Garden Sale at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala. Open Monday through Saturday from 9 to 4. Truly a garden store like no other.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Now, I'm Daria Albinger. We've been hearing for weeks about the doomsday scenario known as the sequester. President Obama has until midnight to sign it, and now we're hearing that it may not be that big of a deal, at least not at first. The White House says it could take weeks, even months, for the average American to feel the effects of the cuts. An actress who played one of the first divorced moms on TV has died. Bonnie Franklin received Golden Globe and Emmy nominations for her work as Anne Romano on One Day at a Time. Franklin had pancreatic cancer. She was 69. You probably made a little money today in your 401k, and maybe next week you'll make a little more. The Dow is inching closer to an all-time high, calling it a week up 35 points at 14,090. The goal, top 14,164, which was reached back in October of 2007. Go on, make a run for the border. Taco Bell says there's no horse meat in the products at its U.S. restaurants. Tests in Britain found it was mixed into Taco Bell's ground beef in stores there. This is ABC News.
When we move forward, so does the rest of the economy. CSX trains are the most cost-efficient way to move goods to market. CSX, how tomorrow moves.
When you're running a facility, safety is key. That's why Grainger offers over 70,000 diverse safety products, and that number's growing. Everything from personal protection gear and safety signs to online safety training tools, all to help you reduce injuries and downtime and keep up with regulations. You might say safety's our middle name. Yep, Grainger, safety, Grainger. You get the idea. Cut back on costs and worries. Call, clickgrainger.com, or stop by a branch today. Grainger, for the ones who get it.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the phone house at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
All right, welcome back to the Voice of Ocala Buddy Sports Page. It's Friday. It's time for the Friday Drive, sponsored by Prestige Auto Sales, and that means time to go out to Prestige Auto and check in with our man, Chris Spears. How are you, Chris?
Doing well, sir. Doing very well, buddy. It's matter of fact, I'm just giving Mark the camera to go outside to take the picture of the third guest of the day that we're able to help get a nicer, newer car, and we've got two other ladies out driving a car right now. So these are blessed days we're in, and it's not because I'm that good. It's just we serve a good God. But everything's great over here. How's it going in your place, sir?
Going fine, and you seem to be always having people coming in and getting keys and going out there, so you must be doing something right, or you must be giving it away. I don't know, but know you better than that. So you can, I guess the secret is you can fit their needs. And when a guy comes in and wants a car, rather than selling something he doesn't want, you find out what he needs, and you sell it to him at the right price and good financing. Is that how the Yes Man works?
Well, yes, sir. To a degree, we were blessed last month. February was what's known as the short month of the year, and we ended up with 68 new customers last month. And I'm sometimes, we just come to work. We try to have a helpful servant's heart, and sometimes I'm just amazed at the stories that people tell me about the reasons they left other stores, and I know there's a lot of good places in town, but we just look for ways to make things work the way the customer wants to. We don't have a script that we got to follow. We know folks like to buy a nice car, price worth the money, and they like to be out of here in an hour or less. So we don't have folks leaving here saying that they spent a day and a half up here trying to buy a car, or they took a car home for 2 weeks and then they got called back because they couldn't get them approved. And it just seems to be this business is made a lot more difficult than it has to be at times, I believe.
Yes. Well, it's going to be a cold weekend, and people are going to be bundling up, and you'll still be out there with cars, and people can come by and kick the tires this weekend. Or if you want to stay home and stay warm an extra minute, you can check it out at Prestige for You. That's Prestige for You, the number 4 letter U, but also a new website, with the word yes in it, too, as well, right?
Yes, sir. The Prestige says yes, but at either of our websites, you can go on there. You can look at some 40 or 50 pictures of all of our vehicles. You can get history reports, fuel economy ratings, put in information and get your trade appraised, get pre-qualified for a loan. We can get 75% of the work done before you ever even leave your house. And we know that folks like to buy with the ease and convenience. They want a good value. They want a dependable car. And they like to buy a car with a warranty. So we try to provide all those things up here at Prestige.
There you go. Have a great weekend. Stay warm, and we'll talk to you next week.
We appreciate you, buddy. Thank you very much.
All right, Chris Spears, Prestige Auto. Okay, back to the sports page, Buddy Martin sports page on a Friday, and I'm looking at this story about the Miami Heat doing the Harlem Shake. I looked at the video. I'm thinking, you know what? Hunter and I could do this. I'm not sure
buddy.
about the rest of these turkeys. I'm not sure, but we can do this. We're really thinking about whether we should do a video on the Harlem Shake. No.
I think y'all definitely should do it, you and Hunter.
Yeah, good. You'll enjoy your new job over at the other station, too, by the way, and you'll be sure to watch it. Incidentally, I got a suggestion. McDonald's, I read today, is changing their menu again. They're taking off, maybe taking off the Angus burger and a couple other things they're looking at taking off. I'm thinking when they add something, add the Harlem Shake.
There you go, buddy.
Get it, right? There you go.
Marketer's dream right there, buddy.
Harlem Shake. Get it? Shake, no shake. Do I have to? Yeah. No. What do you mean no? Over there doing thumbs down. Oh man, you guys you got no imagination. This group has.
No.
And you know
whoever
what?
came up with the Harlem Shake has no imagination.
You're also a bunch of quitters before you start, too. By the way, I just want to say that you can't. You quit before you start. You never get ahead, Hunter. Tell them.
That's true. Did you see the quitter today? McElroy with a toothache.
I did. Walking off the golf course. Quitter.
What? Don't steal my thunder.
No. Well, why not? It's all fair game.
He was only +7. It had nothing to do with his score.
Well, sure it didn't.
Nothing to do with his score.
Let's go to the headlines. JJ, you got headlines for us today?
Yeah, that was a headline. Rory McIlroy today dropped out of the Honda Classic after hitting 7 over through 9 holes. Said it was because of a wisdom toothache. Today, as expected, the Atlanta Falcons made some room.
A lot of room.
They cut John Abraham, who led the team in sacks, Dante Robinson, and Michael Turner, the running back who led the league with 800 rushing yards last year and 10 touchdowns. The team will be saving around $20 million, I believe.
$18.7 million in cap space.
Right.
Puts them $15.9 million under the cap.
Right. And last night in basketball, Duke lost, sealing at least a share of the ACC title for the Miami Hurricanes. Virginia beat Duke 73-68. The fans rushed the court, and Coach K complains about fans rushing the court.
19th time an unranked team has beat a top 5 team this year.
Well, I mean, it looks like a year when all the top place to be is outside the top 5.
Right. Gonzaga ended up winning last night late. The game didn't start till 11, so they should be number 1 after this week.
Just what I predicted, Gonzaga, number 1.
Right. Well, and when JJ talked about Coach K complaining, he complained about a rush in the court, but if you watch the video of it, the yellow security guards form a wall that doesn't let any students or anything pass the wall, so the players weren't affected. The coaches shook hands, walked to their locker rooms easily, stopped whining.
Let me just say this about you two guys, okay? You're both Coach K haters. So when you say something,
I don't hate Coach
you got
K,
no credibility because you both hate him, all right?
I don't hate Coach K. I've never hated Coach K.
Sure you don't.
Why would I?
Why you bring in Rip? You and Tom rip him all the time. But
no, I don't rip him all the time. I think what he said is stupid, and it's just a baby move to complain about something as petty as that after their team lost.
Well, maybe you know why? Maybe he was really concerned about the welfare of his players.
If you watch the video, which they have cell phone footage from the students of where Duke actually was and where the students ran on the court, Duke wasn't affected in the least bit.
ESPN has it clear too, but here's the thing.
Here's the thing. There's one Miami Hurricane fan and one North Carolina fan that are all ripping on Duke. That's what it is.
Blue Devils are not our rivals.
I wasn't born yesterday, guys. I know where you're coming from.
I understand why he's angry.
Tell him, Hunter.
It's the 5th time this year that the court's been stormed at a Duke loss. I know why he's mad, because Duke keeps losing.
They're 11-4 in the ACC.
Like I said, Duke haters.
I am.
I don't really care.
You'll never get me to admit any different.
So
I'm
then,
a
so anything you say about it has no credibility whatsoever. So
with you.
With anybody.
But with my vast amount of fans, all two of them, it's huge.
Yeah. Anything else on the headlines look interested? Looks like these cuts are getting pretty deep. And I think we start cutting starters and sack leaders, nobody's going to be safe. And, you may be cutting an all-pro next. I mean, the checkbook's taking over in the National Football League.
Well, I think it's actually a good move by the Falcons because that'll take us back to being, take the Falcons back to being 5-game winners, and that's where I was used to them being for so long.
Yeah,
so I'm okay with that.
And their
What's
defense
the difference
is so
when
great.
you lose in the playoffs every year, right?
Their defense is horrible.
I say their defense is so great. Get rid of Abraham.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, they're going to have to get younger. The problem with Abraham's is
I know he's long in the tooth.
He doesn't play a full season. He hadn't played a full season in the past 5 years.
They lose the Falcons, by the way.
No, they don't. They play the regular season, not the full season.
Exactly. All right. Coming up next, we'll talk a little more about college basketball. We got Laura and Josh here talking high school sports, and we'll tell you about an Ocala skater who had huge success overseas. She's another champion, another time, and someone who has deep ties here, doesn't live here now, but is an Ocala native. We'll tell you about that next right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source. Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444.
Harvick down to the inside of the racetrack, and the car is slow. Harvick off the pace.
The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series is on the Motor Racing Network. Coverage continues Sunday with the Subway Fresh Fit 500 from Phoenix International Raceway. Hear it live at 2 p.m. on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. And for ticket information, go to motorracingnetwork.com.
Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 6th for the Francis Marion Military Academy Spring Fling at the Ocala Shrine Club on Merricamp Road. Join the first annual Swamp Fox Chili Cook-Off and Classic Car Show. Take a chance on winning one of 5 different late model vehicles for the unbelievably low price of just $20 per ticket. Only 5,000 tickets will be sold. The proceeds benefit the Francis Marion Military Academy. Businesses, organizations, and talented individuals are invited to show off their cooking skills and to compete for the best tasting chili. Go to swampfoxevents.com for the registration directions to the Shrine Club, Car Show, Chili Cook-Off. Join our sponsors in supporting the Academy. Remember, that's Saturday, April 6th for the Francis Marion Military Academy Spring Fling at the Ocala Shrine Club on Merricamp Road. The first annual Swamp Fox Chili Cook-Off and Classic Car Show. For more information, call Charlie at 843-7790. That's 843-7790. 843-7790. Or visit swampfoxevents.com.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA, Ocala.
Back on the Voice of Ocala, Buddy Sports Page, live from Gateway Bank for Community Gazette Day. Before we left, Buddy, you were teasing an Ocala native that wins the World Juniors figure skating pairs. I believe it's Miss Denny.
Yeah, she's been around here a while, and people know her as Frank DeLuca's niece. She's had great success in the Olympics. Haven Denny, she and Brandon Frazier, a partner, they got the first pairs title since 2007 at the World Junior Figure Skating Championships on Thursday, and which is big news, of course. And congratulations to Denny and Frazier, and they're going to be an awesome team again in the Winter Olympics. So congratulations to them. You, however, are still angry. JJ, was you as angry at what happened with McElroy? Were you the one, or was Tom defending him, or what was?
No, I'm not angry about it. I just think he, gave up. Big deal.
They're saying
Tiger's done it before.
He did the same thing Tiger did at the Players Championship 2 years ago.
He says it's wisdom teeth. Now other people
not mentally there.
All right, let me finish. He says it's wisdom teeth, and some people say, well, yeah, it couldn't be the new equipment you got, or the problems you're having with your new girlfriend. It has to be the wisdom teeth, right? And he gave a couple different answers apparently. One to the British press, and the Irish press, and one to Americans. So he's in a little bit of trouble there.
Well, he thinks now that he's ranked world number 1, that gives him carte blanche or something. And let's call it for what happened today. He was 7 over through 9 holes, and he quit.
Exactly right.
Just like Tiger Woods quit. He was 6 over through 9 holes at the Players Championship 2 years ago, and he quit. So, if you're going to be a quitter, just admit it. Say, look,
I agree.
My game's in the garbage can today. I'm not playing well. I don't care about the fans. I quit. I'm going back to my hotel room. Be a man and say that's what you're doing.
Sounds like it, doesn't it? All right, we're going to have our high school guys on in just a second, and we're going to let them talk about the high school sports. When we come back, I'm going to tell you about Michael Jordan. Not such good news for Michael. Seems like he's got a child unaccounted for. We'll tell you about that. And also, Dish. You guys, JJ, you and Tom hate ESPN. You'll love this story. They got to write a check to Dish for some programming issues.
ESPN does?
Yes, they do.
I got Dish, so I'm glad they're having to do that.
Of course you are. So there you go. So
we're going to the high school. I guess now we got to the heir apparents that are taking our job one day. The high school. What do you call this show again, Josh? I forget what it is.
Well,
I don't really care what it is.
Yeah.
What do you call it again?
You want the real answer?
Yeah, what's the answer?
Are you sure? High School Athletic Spotlight.
The High School Athletic Spotlight with Josh LaSalva and Laura Klein. Take it away, guys.
How are you doing, Josh?
I'm doing really good, actually. How are you doing? You have a little bit of lacrosse news for us, don't you, Laura?
I do. Actually, I love talking about lacrosse because I play it, which is not the reason that it's on the show, but it is here.
Okay, hold on a second. Watching female lacrosse is the biggest game of red light, green light.
We're talking about lacrosse as a sport in general. We're not talking about women's lacrosse. We're talking about lacrosse as a sport in general, and I don't appreciate your insults.
It's a non-contact sport for women. I don't understand.
So is volleyball.
What? You can just grab the ball in women's lacrosse and run straight to the goal and shoot it, and no one can touch you.
Yeah, because it's non-contact.
Okay, I rest my case.
All right. Well, today we're talking about lacrosse as a sport in general, not about women's lacrosse, not about men's lacrosse, but lacrosse as a sport, box lacrosse, field lacrosse. We're talking about lacrosse as a sport in general. It's actually the fastest growing sport in America, as some of you might know. And it's actually the oldest sport in America. It may not be America's pastime like baseball or football, but it's the oldest because it was first documented by French Jesuit missionary who saw the Iroquois tribe playing it back in 1637. So it's very old. Yes, Iroquois. Oh. Say it with me, Iroquois.
No.
Okay. It's really popular up north, but it's slowly making its way down to the south and especially Florida, and it's really booming in Tampa, like the Tampa area and the south, like Miami area.
Well, I know Wesley Chapel always has good lacrosse.
Yes, which is right north of Tampa.
That's correct.
They are a very good team, as I know very well. But it's really picking up in Ocala. Ocala actually has 3 high school lacrosse teams. We have the Boys Trinity Catholic team, which is FHSAA, and 1 Wildcat Lacrosse Club boys team and 1 Wildcat Lacrosse Club girls team. Wow, that's a mouthful. The TC boys have gotten off to a really awesome 4-0 start, led by Kevin Norman, a senior, all seniors, Kevin Norman, Hunter Fuhr, Anthony Casera, AJ Mendola, who are all committed to play lacrosse at the next level, which is huge for the area. Kevin Norman's going to play at Wingate, Hunter Fuhr is playing at Furman, Anthony Casera is going to Wingate
The Paladins,
as well.
The Furman Paladins?
Yeah, D1 school, and AJ Mendola is going to Tampa, University of Tampa. So it's really exciting that we have players, seniors, playing lacrosse at the next level. And we also have the Wildcat Lacrosse boys team that's not doing as well as the Trinity Catholic team, off to a pretty slow 0-3 start. But things should pick up.
A rough 0-3 start, might I add.
Yes, very rough, but things can pick up anytime soon. And then my team, the Wildcat Club Lacrosse girls team, we're 2-2 right now with our next game this Saturday, led by senior Allie Holland, who's committed to play Wingate next year. One of my favorite people in the world, doing a great job leading this team. So we're excited to see where things go. We have a game this Saturday, and then we have a game next Wednesday, which is our senior night, my senior night. So come out to MCYFL at 6:30 to see some lovely women's lacrosse.
Red light, green light at its best.
Go.
So I want to talk a little about high school baseball. A lot of action happened this week here in Marion County. Let's give you a little rundown from this week's scores and this week's games. So first up, Trinity Catholic. TC still undefeated with a 4-0 record. Trinity had to play Wiki Wachi on Tuesday, beating them 4-2. And my man Dash Winningham, I can't say enough about Dash, honestly, playing some incredible baseball so far in the season, already has 2 home runs in 4 games, and batting over 500. I'll be actually at the TC game tonight as they host Santa Fe. I'm predicting TC is going to cruise, as they usually do, and win against Santa Fe tonight. And here we have North Marion. They have been racking up a few wins to recover from their early season downfall. North Marion beat Palaca High School last night 8-2, moving North Marion's record to a 4-3. North Marion's next game is on Tuesday as they travel to Eastside High. And tonight, very important matchup here in Marion County. It's a rivalry, actually.
The best one.
Vanguard versus Forest, everybody. This is the first meeting between the two teams this season, and there are 2 very different storylines headed into this game as well. For Forest, their storyline is, hey, let's continue this good run of form. We're playing some incredible ball right now. We're 4-1 on the season. We just beat Bellevue last night 5-0. And Blake Waldron pitched a gem last night, throwing a complete game, only allowing 2 hits, striking out 7 rattlers. You know, Waldron's good. Definitely someone you got to watch out for in the Forest rotation this season. And if he's strong, you know, the Forest pitching staff, they'll be strong because they build off of each other. So I'm looking for Forest to come out in tonight's game pumped up after their win against Bellevue. They're ready to rock and roll. And for Vanguard, though, their road has been a lot tougher. Vanguard is coming into tonight's game 1-4 on the season, riding a 2-game losing streak. Their only win on the season against Westport. And it is Westport. They lost to Gainesville High School last night, and Vanguard's offense struggling. You know, they haven't scored against Gainesville at all. They lost 5-0 last night. and we'll see how they fare against tough pitchers tonight, because I know Forest will be throwing good pitchers out there. Coach Yancey loves to win these type of games, and I'm predicting that Forest comes in 6-2 win. That's my score line. The game's 6:30 at Vanguard. I don't think Vanguard has enough confidence to overcome what Forest has to offer.
Speaking of great pitchers like Forest has, over at TC, Jesse Lapori is doing a great job leading his team. He's a senior going to University of Miami next year. He was actually with Kevin Fuller when we interviewed him at the show. He came with very tall.
He's a lanky guy.
He is a lanky guy, but a great pitcher, and I think Trinity Catholic might be a force to reckon with in the county.
Once again, I want to say that TC will go to the playoffs, and I think that the only downside TC has is if their offense doesn't produce. And I think that speaks a lot for all the teams here in Marion County. The pitching can be on par, but if you're not hitting the ball, you're not scoring runs.
Right.
And if you're not scoring runs, you're not winning games.
Which is something that Forest definitely has an advantage in. I mean, we have Josh Green, Weston Trueluck. We have lots of, Mary Camp Bombers on our side. So I think
Mary Camp Bombers.
I just came up with that. Mary Camp Bombers.
I think that might be a hashtag on Twitter very shortly.
Let's make it happen. Let's do it.
See, Vanguard, I think it's a confidence thing. After losing, and they only beat Westport, let's take away from Westport, but it's Westport.
But Forest did have a really disappointing loss to GHS the last night. A couple nights ago, I think it was last Saturday. Disappointing, lots of errors on the Forest side, but definitely a learning experience that I think they can take it tonight, knowing that they can't take any of their competition lightly.
And that's a good squad they faced.
Absolutely. DHS is one of the best teams in the area. But also Forest, is a force to be reckoned with as well. But I think going from the GHS loss, Forest can not take any opponents lightly, and everything's a real tough competition.
And I think I will be loving the day when TC and Forest play each other in baseball. I will love it.
Can only pray. Only pray. Well, that's all the time we have for the high school athletic spotlight.
You're not on, Tom.
And y'all did a fabulous job. And JJ, I want to tell you, I need to say this shout out. Your brother Josh has on a sweet pair of Puma shoes, by the way.
Hey, Puma
I'm liking
always.
The kicks. Those kicks
Puma
are nice.
always.
Those kicks are great. Once again, thanks for what y'all do every Friday. Check out the
High School Athletic Spotlight.
High School Athletic Spotlight.
3 words.
Yeah, I'll never remember that.
No.
So anyway, coming up next, Buddy Martin rejoins the show. Joe Williams, soon to be up.
Wait, did you say that was 3 words?
I said it was 3 words. It's 4 words. I'm sorry.
Oh, did I say 3
4 words? No, I said 3 words.
High school, that one.
High school 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
High School Athletic Spotlight. I said I'll take blame for that one.
She said 3 words.
Yeah, but you didn't speak up, man.
Yeah, I wasn't caring.
Oh,
no one knows I'm going to college next year. That's just for the kind of an unknown thing.
We're going to take a break now. When we come back, Buddy Martin rejoins the show. Try to bring some sanity back to the show. And Joe Williams from Mile High Sports joins us next on Buddy Sports page on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at party time.
Ooh, it's cold in here. Ooh, it's hot in here.
Ah, it's just right in this house.
Looks like 1 out of 3 know about climate control mechanical services in Ocala. The first didn't call 291-0185. The second didn't know to call 291-0185. The third called 291-0185. So the moral of the story? To know is one thing, but to know and take action is another. Climate control mechanical services. Just right.
Hello, this is Jeff Miller reminding you that this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Miller's Boating Center, your local Mercury dealer, will host our 22nd annual Boat Show and Fishing Expo. Meet fishing pros Shaw Grigsby, Terry Scroggins, Captain Rick Murphy, and more. Free fishing clinics all 3 days. Seminars by Humminbird and Minn Kota, and special discounted pricing throughout the store. Save money on over 200 new boats in stock from Carolina Skiff, Tidewater, Triton, Shearwater, Sea Ark, Alumacraft, Lowe, Sylvan Sun Chaser, and our newest additions, Actioncraft and Gatortail. Purchase any of these with a new Mercury outboard and receive a special Mercury Cellathon package. Special financing is available, free admission, parking, and prizes. For more information, go to millersboating.com or call 1-877-898-1466. Only at Miller's Boating Center, your award-winning Mercury dealer, 2 miles north of Ocala on Highway 441, helping you enjoy the water for over 30 years.
They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
Back to Buddy Sports Page on a Friday, catching up on the latest news and also the stories we mentioned before the break in the high school show. It's been quite a year for the legend that is Michael Jordan. His celebration of his 50th birthday was sort of an ongoing thing for months, and ESPN running specials, and now this just in, and not good news if it's true, and I'm presuming that it is based on what we're hearing. Michael Jordan is apparently the father of a 16-year-old in Georgia, according to his paternity suit. And he, of course, is now the Bobcats owner. He was sued in Superior Court in Fulton County by a woman who claims he fathered her 16-year-old son. Pamela Smith claims in her paternity suit, filed February 6th in Atlanta, that she became pregnant by Jordan in 1995 when Jordan was married to Juanita Vanoy. They were divorced in 2006. According to NBC Charlotte, Jordan was to be served the legal papers at Time Warner and Cable Arena, where the Bobcats play and have their offices. So we'll not know for sure if the papers were served. You wonder about these kinds of stories, but pretty much today, with DNA, it's pretty easy to prove.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to run away with that with DNA and everything. All you got to do is call Maury. He'll put you on the show. That DNA test.
Yeah, you go.
They can figure it out.
So you watch Maury. I didn't know that. It's good. Also, this is just a little note that means nothing to anybody but Tom and JJ, who doesn't like ESPN either, but apparently there was a suit pending between Dish was suing ESPN for $152 million, claiming they breached a licensing agreement by allowing rivals to pay lower rates for ESPN Deportes. And the federal grand jury came back in favor of Dish, but for only $4.8 million and not $152 million that it sought. So the war goes on between the cable companies and the Dish and the gang. Dish seems to be losing right now. There was a time when Dish is right up there, but I think DirecTV and all the others have kind of surpassed them, and cable, and Comcast being now an NBC owner and all that kind of stuff.
Buddy, I got a golf update for you.
All right.
Somebody else has quit. The projected cut at the Honda is even par. Our guy Ted Potter is 1 over. He's just below the cut line, but that's not the story of the day.
You know, just a quick thought on Teddy. Maybe he should move to California.
He may.
He'd do better.
Well, but he pays income tax in Florida. No income tax in Florida.
It's all right.
Just play in California.
Yeah, play in California.
Right.
Well, you still have to pay taxes there.
Right.
You don't live there.
So, Ted Potter Jr., there's a chance he may miss the cuts. Projected cuts even par, but they still got a little bit of golf to play there. And as you know, the cut line could change late into the afternoon. But that's not the biggest story to me. The biggest story to me is yesterday, Camilo Villegas, 6 under par, leading the golf tournament.
Today?
7 over today. No. He may miss the cut.
Would you say consistency is an issue for Camilo?
Wow. 6 under yesterday, 7 over today. That's a 13-stroke swing. That's a big deal.
It is a big deal. And we are in the Florida swing now. What's next week? When is Arnie's
next
party?
Next week, I
3
believe.
weeks?
Arnie's party's 3 weeks.
Okay. Then they go and come back and down to Tampa. And I was going to have Gary Van Sickle from Sports Illustrated on today, but we're crunched for time. We'll get Gary on Monday or Tuesday. Which, by the way, somebody's birthday Monday. I don't know, is around here. Does anybody know who it is? Somebody who works around here? I don't know.
Someone who hopefully has a day off on Monday.
You do not have a day off just because it's your birthday, Paul.
Oh, is Tom off on Monday? Oh. Well, we'll talk about that on Monday. Yeah, JJ, happy birthday, since you won't be here on Monday. So, all right, what else we got going on? Apparently, the Jets was looking about signing a deal with David Garrard. You know, Garrard he played pretty well for Jacksonville for a couple of years.
He had some really good years.
Yeah, and then just sort of dropped off the face of the earth.
He forced Leftwich out of town.
Yep.
And before last season, or 2 seasons ago, they cut him like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days before the season started. He got hurt. Didn't play much at all the last couple of years, and now who knows what he's got left in the tank, man.
Well, I can tell you what's going to happen now. For sure, Tebow's going to be cut. They've got Tebow, McElroy, and Matt Sims on the roster.
Matt Sims.
Wow. Yeah. McElroy, remember, was starting at the end of the season, which is really a slap in the face. Tebow couldn't even start, even as the second-string quarterback. So that thing is all messed up. Although you heard Coach Meyer say earlier in the week, Tim has great respect for Coach Ryan. That surprised me to say that. It's not something Urban would have said if he thought it was BS.
No.
So.
They're in Doral next week. I'm sorry, buddy. They're in Doral next week.
Okay, good. Speaking of Urban, for those we didn't tell, we had our interview was picked up nationally by a couple of websites with Urban we had earlier this week, and they gave us full credit except for one thing. They had us at 17:30 a.m. and didn't mention the show. Just said it was a WOCA. So we're proud to be out there with you and be ahead of the game and get people to pick up our interviews. But we just want people to get it right when they do and give the station credit. So we're going to do a little campaign here in the next few weeks or days. And I think Sean's going to be on the attack there for us to let people know that we're going to use our stuff, get our name right. Right, Sean? Isn't that fair? So. All right, Joe Williams coming up a little bit. JJ, make the call there as he's around. And tomorrow, basketball. Gators. This might be their last home game, Hunter. I think it is. Alabama. One more? Okay. Alabama, noon, odd time, a game they could probably win. Although lately with the bench problems they've got, it's nothing's for sure. But playing home is certainly a big plus. A team that has gone from looking like a deadlock cinch to be a number one seed, then dropping down to, I noticed earlier this week when Joe Lunardi was on, he gave his top 2 seeds, and Florida was not mentioned in either. All of a sudden now Michigan has lost, and Duke has lost, and now Florida, even though they lost to Tennessee, if they can win out somehow, win up in Lexington, beat Alabama, win their final 3 or 4 games, they still got a chance to be a 1 seed. I don't think they're a 1 seed team. On the other hand, who is? Nobody's playing like one. Even Miami got beat by, I won't say, I'm sorry, JJ, Wake Forest. So nobody's consistent. As we said earlier, the stat now is 19 times this year the top 5 have lost to unranked teams. And we asked this question to Franz Beardordy this week. They said, what do you think it was? And Franz made a very good point. He said that with the rosters being full of one-and-dones in some places, you don't have the leadership on some of these teams. You don't have the seniors on the team to guide them through. So consequently, in a tight situation on the road, when things get tough, you miss that leadership. So, all right, we'll go ahead and take a break here early, JJ, and see if we can reach Joe Williams on the other side. So stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala Sports page right here on
1370
Get it right.
AM. I was about to say 1730.
No wonder anybody can't get it right. We can't even get it right.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Course bank approval. Vehicle purchase process fixed rate allowance offers no combined.
Are you bored, tired, and disgusted with your old car?
Hey, this is Cupid, Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. I want you to love your car, so trade in the old car you hate.
Even if you're still making payments, even if you owe more than it's worth.
And I'll help you drive a nicer, newer car sooner than you ever thought possible. Plus, when you use your tax refund as a down payment, you'll get a lot nicer, newer car. So you can hook up with a car you love today.
Bad credit? Cupid got you down? Our For the People credit approval specialists are world-class matchmakers. They'll connect you with the lender most likely to approve your loan.
Hate your old car?
Dump it and fall in love with a nicer, newer car today, even if you owe more than it's worth or still making payments. Plus, turn your tax refund into your down payment and save a lot on a car you'll love.
Hurry, this Love Fest ends when we match 57 people with a car of their dreams. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people. Visit me in Ocala or Bellevue.
Online at PrestigeSaysYes.com.
Or call 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Hi, I'm Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness, Ocala's premier small group and personal training fitness studio. Did you know you can achieve all your fitness goals, whether that's losing weight, getting fit, or training for a personal best, all with no membership fees? Have you ever been embarrassed or intimidated at a big gym because you're not a Greek god or a size 0 supermodel? Have you ever felt like your gym would rather you not even show up? At KMF, we have a team approach that focuses on small classes and personal training, and you'll feel like family, not just another number. No more boring treadmills or endless reps. Our classes are fun, energetic, and get you the results you want. And I should know, with the help of our great trainers, I lost over 100 pounds in 8 jean sizes, and I did it using no heavy equipment and no magic pills, just fun and effective workouts. And yes, I did say fun. Come join us at KMF. Visit our website at kmfocala.com or like us on Facebook. Again, that was kmfocala.com.
If you want to avoid getting ripped off and put more money in your pocket, then join me, Clark Howard, every weeknight at 6, right here on WOCA, The Source.
This is Don with ABC Fredericks Appliance. Here's my daughter, Lena.
And hey, everybody, it's Lena. You need to come down to ABC Fredericks Appliance on County Road 25, just over the railroad tracks in Bellevue, where you are treated right with the right products like Whirlpool, Maytag, Crosley, and Speed Queen. These are the new ones. Don't forget, we also carry used appliances that we warranty. ABC Fredericks Appliance does repairs, too. Call us at 629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance on County Road 25, just over the railroad tracks in Bellevue. It's at 629-5181.
Hi, Brittany here from Mike Scott Plumbing. We're well into the new year, the world didn't end, and now you have all those New Year resolutions you haven't even started on. So here's an idea. Take the money you are going to waste on those late night infomercials for some weight loss gadget that doesn't even work, and do something that will work. Like a new bathtub, or that new kitchen sink you've had your eye on. Not only will it look good, but it would add value to your home. Did you know that Mike Scott Plumbing has a brand new showroom just across from the new Brownwood Square? In addition to the main showroom in Hernando? So wherever you are, it's just a short drive away. Let our showroom specialists get you one step closer to the kitchen and bath of your dreams. Call us today, 237-2888. That's 237-2888. And check us out on the web, MikeScottPlumbing.com. And remember, if water runs through it, we do it. Mike Scott Plumbing.
Hey, this is John Tesh with my wife, Connie Selica, and we're here to lend our support for the upcoming Veterans Eagle Challenge being hosted by The Source WOCA, with proceeds going to Vets Helping Vets. Please sign up today, and thank you for your support.
Ocala Radio, WOCA.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala Sports Page on a Friday. Time to go to Denver now and talk to our good friend Joe Williams from Mile High Sports. Joe, how's your Friday going so far?
Well, I'm afraid I won't be able to talk to you all today. I'm in sequestration.
I thought you were going to say you had a wisdom tooth pull like McElroy did when he walked off the golf course down in South Florida today. He had a wisdom tooth. So, Joe, this basketball thing is crazy. It's been a strange year all the way around since the lights went out in the Super Bowl, but we did the numbers on this a while ago. 19 times this year, a top 5 team has lost to an unranked team, Duke being the latest. So what's going on in college basketball that causing all this?
Well, you don't have any super teams because of the one-and-done deal. The teams that could load up and, have 2 or 3 third- or fourth-year players, most of them don't have that. I know Miami of Florida does, but that didn't keep them from getting beat by Wake Forest last week, and it probably won't keep them from getting beat by Duke tomorrow. So I just think it's one of those deals where if you don't show up and play your A game, particularly in some of in the Big Ten, where they really have they got some teams that are rougher than a cop, and you just don't want to go in there and play them. And Minnesota's one of them, by the way. And Tubby Smith, he can still sneak up on people, and Indiana found that out the hard way the other night. I still think Indiana is the team to beat that I would pick, but I certainly would not have a money-back guarantee attached to that.
Yeah, I think you're looking at a dark horse somewhere along the line. I think we may have a Final Four to be. Who knows? I certainly didn't see Gonzaga being ranked number 1 in the country. I don't think you did either, which is what's going to happen in the next polls.
Well, I've seen Gonzaga on a number of occasions, and I don't care if they're the number 1 team in the polls. They're not the best team in the country on any given night.
Right.
I don't say that they can't make a run and maybe get to the Sweet 16, and maybe go a little bit deeper than that. But Gonzaga plays in a very, very weak conference, that West Coast Conference. Other than St. Mary's, there's just not much there. And if Gonzaga was playing in the Big Ten or even in the Mountain West, their story would not be the same as it is today.
We're talking with Joe Williams, Mile High Sports. Joe Williams, Tom Schmitz here. Today, I'm reading a report now that Fox Sports Network's going to announce Tuesday the Catholic 7 will be creating their own league, adding Xavier and Butler as 9 teams, with Creighton maybe being the 10th team. They're going to keep the Big East moniker, and Fox is going to pay them about $3 million a school. That's going to open Notre Dame up to maybe go to the ACC a little earlier. Is this once again just this power conference move, just running amok?
Yeah, it sounds like I just want to make sure I know which one Notre Dame is so I'll know which conference to root against.
Yeah, it's something. Hey, again, the strange year. The lights go out and up in the Super Bowl, and we talked about this yesterday. Headlines you never thought you'd see: an Olympian without legs shoots and kills his model girlfriend, and allegedly, yeah. Well, no, he just shot and killed her. The question is why?
Why?
Yeah. And then
I could tell you why.
Huh.
They had an argument, and he killed her, and then he tried to cover it up. That's why.
Sure looks that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. Hey, look, in life, I don't care what you're talking about, whether you're talking about marriages, mergers and acquisitions, murder, whatever you're talking, things have to add up. They have to add up. His story doesn't add up, so that means he did it.
Little hitman.
Unless he gets the OJ jury.
Well,
then I read something. They don't have juries over there. Yeah. He's got to sell it to the judge. They got one guy who is the judge, jury, and executioner, and that's the judge. So he better get his ducks in the huddle. Make it sound better than what he's making it sound right now.
Yeah, and Joe, along the line of those bizarre stories, today St. Mary's hit with 4 years probation by the NCAA. Now, it's getting so bad that the little school like that, which has a reputation for being a fine Catholic school out of California, is now they're in Dutch with the NCAAs. They've been cheating, too.
Well, They do have a couple of very good players. This Andrew Dellavedova, who is a guard for them and played on the Australian Olympic team. Sometimes you wonder how in the world did he get from all the way down under to little old bitty St. Mary's in the West Coast Conference. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong. I'm just saying sometimes you wonder.
As you say, it doesn't add up.
That's right.
Exactly right. All right, spring football is going along here. People are starting to talk about games and teams and players. And
let me ask y'all this, and Tom, you can weigh in too, right along with Buddy and JJ if he wants to. How good is Sharif Floyd, and how good is John Bostic?
Let me answer it since I saw the team more than they did. All right, I would say
I've only seen every game.
Well, then you answer. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
That's how you go ahead.
No, I got it. Go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah, Bob.
Okay. All right. Just want to know if you think you know more about it. Go ahead. Floyd's a sleeper. He's strong and great upper body strength, good quickness, tough physically. He's much man, I can tell you right now. In the NFL, it's a different situation. I think he'll be it depends on. I don't think he's a first round draft choice. I could be wrong, but certainly at the second, he's a good pick there. Bostic's a guy that just to me was a year away. He needed to stay in school one more year. He's got good instincts. He's got good fundamentals, but in my mind, he's not seasoned. He's going to be a couple-of-year project to be able to play in the National Football League. That's my take on it. Here's Tom's.
All right, Tom.
Sharif Floyd will be probably the sleeper of the draft. He performed well at the Combine, so that's going to move him up the draft board. But I think, like Buddy, I think he's going to be taken higher than Buddy thinks. But I think he'll be taken too high. He'll be taken too high. He'll be drafted high in the first round, probably. They're talking at number 3, but I think he'll be taken probably in the first 15, and I think that's probably about 30 picks too far. John Bostic, on the other hand, I don't believe that he should be taken anywhere before about the 5th or 6th round. I don't think he's got the ability to play the position in the NFL right now, and I'm not real sure he's going to have the ability to play it in the NFL. So,
well, what's he coming out for?
He shouldn't have. He shouldn't have.
I mean, he's getting bad advice then. I talked to a scout, by the way, just one scout's opinion, but he said that on everybody's board, Sharif Floyd's like in the top 10 pick.
Could be. My only thing is I think people fall in love with players. And I think Sharif Floyd, they fell in love with him in the Combine. And you see him on the hoof. Physically, he's an impressive specimen. He's a terrific-looking football player. I want to see him get down there and play root hog with those big boys. It's a little different game at the National Football League level. He's a strong guy now. I could be wrong. I just got a feeling he may be a little bit overrated in the draft. I could be wrong. That's how I feel. But for sure.
How's his issues character-wise? How's that?
I think he's all right. I think he's okay. I don't know his personal history, but I don't remember seeing him on the police blotter too many times. So
look, here's what it comes down to, as we all know, at Florida. During Urban Meyer's time there, they had 24 people arrested.
There you go.
Guy's either on the police blotter or he's not.
There you go.
Is he on the police blotter?
Yeah, no, not right now. And by the way, none of those were felons, but just in case you wanted to know. If you want to talk about felons, ask JJ. I can't help you out on that one.
All right.
Hey, man, we're out of time. As usual, it's been a pleasure talking to you. You have a great weekend, and get coached up. We'll talk a little college football maybe next week. We're getting close to spring practice.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. We're 3 Sundays away from a weekend away from Selection Sunday, so I'm getting fired up for that.
Very good, sir. We'll talk about it next week. Appreciate that.
And by the way, once the tournament starts, I want y'all to refer to me as the mayor of Brackettville.
Okay, you got it, Mayor. Appreciate that. The mayor of Brackettville. Of course, that's what we'll call you, Joe, for sure. All right, I want to thank our guests today. We had a whole bunch of them. Our friend Carswell Ponder, and of course the daughter and granddaughter of Homer Circle. Appreciate them being on the program. Laura had her special guest, Rihanna, from the Boys and Girls Club. Of course, we had Laura and Josh's high school program. And I forget who else we had there besides Joe Williams. But that's a pretty good lineup right there. So on behalf of my broadcast partners today, JJ, Hunter, Tom, and Sean, I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great weekend, everybody.
You've been listening to the Voice of Ocala on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. Remember also to tune in every morning to listen to AM